Here we go. Day 3 of NFL free agency is here, and so is Chicago Bears now. My name is Harrison Graham. Voice, we're working. We're battling. We're trying to get back, and, it's been a struggle, but I feel better than I did yesterday, so that's a positive, and we'll fight through it here on this Wednesday. Start of the new league year is in about an hour. That does not mean a bunch of new deals are going to happen necessarily, but contracts can start to become official. Trades can officially go through. So Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson, that type of stuff. You'll see teams start to announce those moves. So that's what you can expect. Doesn't mean moves won't happen, but it won't happen because it's 3 o'clock Central, so to speak. Cullen, we're back. We're battling. Day 3. It's been quiet for the Bears for about 36 hours now.
Yeah, outside of Scott Daly, no moves, at least that we saw. That happened for Chicago yesterday. We'll see if that changes today. Obviously, Cooper Kupp, the Rams wide receiver, is now officially on the market. He's been released by Los Angeles. Could he be the Bears' new wide receiver 3? We'll see. Could they bring back Keenan Allen? Will they sign maybe a safety, an edge, whomever? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. I feel like yesterday was kind of, outside of the morning, really slow for a lot of NFL teams, including the Bears. So we'll see if it gets active here in the second part of day 3.
Yeah, picked up like 5, 6 o'clock. There were a few moves. Obviously had the Bosa move come in last night. But, yeah, I mean, I think we maybe kind of saw this coming just because a lot of the top flight free agents either got tagged in Trey Smith and T. Higgins or re-signed in that week before free agency. So day 1 was kind of a flurry, but now it's kind of just random signings here and there. There's not going to be like, these tidal waves of, 25 signings in a 2-hour period, I don't think. There's still going to be some action, obviously, but I think the bulk of it is honestly over. So I think you'll see the shift toward a guy like Cooper Kupp. The Trey Hendrickson stuff maybe re-enters the fray at some point for some teams. I do not expect the Bears to be one of those because they've spent a lot of their cap. Did a full video breakdown of that. Check that out. Yeah, that's kind of just where things sit, and we'll see if today brings us anything for the Chicago Bears.
Appreciate you guys getting in the chat. We got Asia from Brooklyn. We got DB saying, sorry, Canada. Key 20 says Chicago. Jason from Illinois. Joshua from Austin, Texas. Romy from Miami, Florida. Damian says, Harry, you look a lot better. So
yeah, I feel like I got more color back in me today. Feel better for sure. Tooth situation, I am going to have to get wisdom teeth removed at some point. That's a different conversation for a different day, but it's not a urgent situation. So that's a positive, and yeah, that's where things sit. So appreciate you guys tuning in, supporting, and all that stuff, and we'll keep it rolling here on Bears Now. We do want to thank PrizePicks for sponsoring today's stream. The action on the court is heating up, both at both levels of basketball, and this is time to get in on all of the action. You can brag with your friends, all that stuff. All you got to do is set lineups of 2 or more players and pick more or less on the stat projections available. Get started with PrizePicks today, the best daily fantasy sports app in North America at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you sign up and play for just $5 for the first time. Doesn't matter if you win or lose that $5 lineup. You are going to get an additional $50 for free at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. Got a little action tonight. They got a little Anthony Edwards deal for you, so you take more on the points there. And then Quentin Grimes has been hot for the 76ers, so I like the more on his 19.5 points as well. 10 to win 30. You can win up to 1,000 times your money on certain lineups right now with PrizePicks. So what are you waiting for? Get started today. Over 10 million users and counting playing PrizePicks. You should be one of them. Available in more than 30 states. Take advantage. Link is in the comments and the description and the live chat. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS for new customers. Get $50 off your first once you play your first lineup. Okay. Who should the Bears sign next? Where are we at, people? Who should the Bears sign next? Who do you want?
yeah, and honestly, you feel free to give predictions too if you want to predict the contract down below. And hey, go out on the board. I feel like I'll go and say Josh Reynolds just feels like such a simple signing. May not be the sexiest signing, but feels like makes
sneaky,
sense.
some might
Sneaky,
say.
Some might say. I like it.
A lot of Cooper Kupps coming in. Equinemius St. Brown. He made his pitch at the St. Brown's podcast, like at the end of the season. Tell Ben I'm interested. He told his brother that. I wouldn't mind EQ back as a guy fighting for a roster spot. Willing Blocker. Nick Chubb. We've talked about him some. I'm not that interested, to be honest. Michael Mayer, that would be a trade, but I would be interested. I'd be interested in trading that 5th-round pick for it. Mekhi Becton, Nick Chubb. We got Tyler Lockett from GD. LaCourse says EQ can block. Yeah, he can. He can. Josh Reynolds, vet minimum. Josh Myers is a backup. Josh Myers is a starting center in the NFL. I don't think he's signing up to be a backup. Offer Kupp a team-friendly deal. Yeah, I mean, if Cooper Kupp, and we'll talk more about him as the day goes, I don't know, like when DeAndre Hopkins signed for $5 million up to $6 million, I know he's, didn't have a great year last year and all that stuff, but like that did kind of like get my brain churning a little bit. Like maybe now that we're into day 3 of free agency, does that veteran wide receiver money come down a little bit for guys, 32, 33 years old, the Keenan Allens, the Cooper Kupps? I mean, maybe it's not $6 million, but maybe it's only like $8 million. Maybe you don't have to get into $10, $12, $15 million. Yeah. Tyler Lockett, same deal.
We live in a world where Marquez Valdez-Scantling gets more money than DeAndre Hopkins.
How much did he get?
5.5.
Oh man.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe on the flip side, that's not good news, but yeah, I mean that was certainly interesting, and who knows? Maybe Hop took less to play with Baltimore. I don't know, but yeah, I mean if some of these guys get into that $6 to $8 million range, I think it becomes more interesting because you can manage those type of cap hits a lot easier than if you give a Keenan Allen 2 for 25, that's kind of difficult at this point. So we'll see. Kyle Juszczyk, I'll say this, if they want to use a fullback in this offense, the best one's available. One of the best. I mean, if you want to say Pat Ricard's better, depending on what you're looking for. Ricard might be a better blocker because he's almost 300 pounds, but Juszczyk's pretty damn good, man.
Let's see Ricard catch a back shoulder fade on the sideline.
Yeah, let's see Ricard run a wheel route out of the backfield. That's good stuff. All right, Cornelius. I'm curious, Harrison, would you let your son play football? My 6-year-old has asked me. I'm thinking about it. Well, first of all, let me just say this. I'm not telling you what to do because I think every parent, like that's got to be a family decision. But I think I'm cool if he really wants to play. I would not be one of those parents like, hey, like let's get you to tackle football. And this is kind of my stance on it, Colin. I don't know. Did you play Pop Warner?
I actually didn't growing up. I played like a lot of different other sports, but I did play once I got into middle school.
That's when I started. I think that's a good starting point for tackle. Mm-hmm. Like you're not too young. Like you see these clips on social media of like 8-year-olds running Oklahoma drill. I'm like, oh my God, like that is just not it. But I think I'd be comfortable with tackle starting in middle school if my son really wanted to. If he doesn't want to play, cool. If he does, cool. I think it's it's an interesting discussion. We have a lot more information about the concussions, the CTE than we did 20 years ago. So. I think that's a family-by-family decision for sure. Dustin, if you take Genty at 10, if Tyler Warren slips to, say, 17, do you trade both twos to the Bengals to add a solid tight end or go depth pieces? I mean, that'd be tempting, right? If he slipped into the late teens. I can't imagine he gets past the Colts at 14 unless the Colts took Colston Loveland if he was still there instead. But, I mean – there's a couple players, like if they got into the late teens, early 20s, I was like, okay, like maybe I'd be interested in trading back into round 1. Warren would certainly be an interesting one. The only issue with that, Dustin, would be is as exciting as it would be, you would be using your first 3 picks of capital to get only 2 players, which is fine, but neither of them are trenches players. I mean, Tyler Warren sort of is, but not really. You're doing it for 2 weapons. maybe the two best weapons in the draft, but I do think you would have to feel really good about your trenches because then you wouldn't pick again until 72. So the scenario of Ginty and Warren is fun. I think it's extremely unlikely, A, just to even be possible, and B, just because I still think the Bears are going to want to add some trenches players.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun. You nailed it. I mean, it would be – I mean, imagine the offense.
We got a trade.
Ooh.
Not to cut you off. Kyer Elam to the Cowboys from the Bills.
Oh, wow. Wasn't he the guy that got benched last year by Buffalo?
Yeah, this is a classic Cowboys move. Let's buy low on someone who has not been very good. And let's go from there. I'm actually going to add this in here.
To where are you adding it?
That Bills chat.
Oh, okay,
if
gotcha.
anyone can get to it at some point.
Gotcha. But yeah, to get back to the Tyler Warren discussion. So obviously Tyler Warren, me and Harry both agree, is a top 8 or so player, give or take a few spots, in the NFL draft. So if you were to get both of them, obviously it'd be tremendous. But like Harry mentioned, are you really comfortable going into next season with your left tackle situation of Karan Amagaji and Braxton Jones? Not to mention the depth of, as of right now, behind Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson is not the greatest at the guard spot.
Well, it's not just O-line either. It's D-line. I
too.
think you need more depth on your D-line. So, again, like I feel good about where the starters are at now, but guys in the trenches get banged up. We don't know what Braxton Jones' timeline is. So, yeah, I think it's a tough sell. I think between your first 3 picks, 10, 39, 41, at minimum, you're taking one trenches player and probably 2, depending on how things pan out here. So, in this scenario, you'd get 0. So I think that's a little tricky in terms of in roster construction standpoint. Zachary, would you trade a 7th for Anthony Schwartz as a wide receiver 3? He's not a wide receiver 3. We've tried to force it with Anthony Schwartz in the NFL for years. He's just not very good. He ran a good 40 3 or 4 years ago and has done nothing in the NFL. So, yeah, not interested. Alex, I kind of want us to take Warren. I'm open to Tyler Warren. Now, if you ask me right now, Ginty or Warren, I'd probably take Ginty. But if Ginty's gone, I think Warren's very much in play. I mean, especially if they go with kind of the lesser mold at wide receiver 3. The Lions ran the 3rd most 12 personnel last year, 2 tight ends on the field at 32%. Like, they're going to run a good amount of 12 personnel already, I would think. If you add Tyler Warren, that number could be up north of 40%. With him and Kmet as your 2 tight ends and DJ and Rome as the 2 receivers. Like, I think you could get pretty damn creative with Tyler Warren if you got him on this football team.
Really could. So the full trade is in, by the way, for the Bills. They'll receive a 5th and a future 7th-round picks for the Cowboys for Kyer Elam and a 6th-rounder.
Classic late-round pick swaps.
Salary dump.
Player like that, yep.
Jesus.
Hey, there's Jerry's big move, baby.
Hey, they're all in, brother.
Jerry's they said it couldn't be done.
And yet, here we are. All right. If you want the Bears to make a signing today, like the video.
That'd be great. It'd be fun.
If we get to 150 likes, you already know what time it is. Little Patron zone. I'll kick us off with some drinks. Harry, more than welcome to join us, given your situation. Also, let's talk about the super chat menu today.
Yeah, we'll do another jersey raffle today. Could be the last one of the week, TBD on that. So, kind of depends on how many people partake today. So, $10 to enter for that. Same menu we're running back. If you Venmo or Cash App, same deal. 2 for the price of 1 at HGram NFL. Money sign HGram NFL. Colin will get those links in the chat for you guys. Doubles your chances of winning. Unlimited tickets, so however much you want to go there, that's on you. $20 to spin the roulette wheel. Sometimes we do stuff. Sometimes you guys got to do stuff. $50 get you into the Bears Helmet Hall of Fame Club. We got to order new stickers, but we're getting everybody on there that sends 50 or more. $100, you are bringing the boom. And Jordan Heflin's still leading the way there with 10 booms in free agency. And then if we reach $1,000, we'll knock out a beer boot. So appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us. I know it's been a little slow the last day and a half, but we're here. We're ready to go. and we'll see if the Bears do anything.
Ooh, little interesting nugget on the Will Fries deal from Seattle's side.
Seattle side.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, so the understanding, this is from accredited Seattle reporter for the Seattle Times. He said, my understanding of the Seahawks and Will Fries is that Seattle wanted to get him and come in and take a physical given his injury and how big the money is. That couldn't happen until today, Wednesday, and Fries didn't want to wait. That was the primary issue, not years or dollars.
Well, I will say this.
Interesting.
Every player that signs has to take a physical, so he will still have to take one with the Vikings.
Yeah.
If he fails that physical, they could rip up that contract because it's not signed yet.
Sure.
It happened with Larry Ogunjobi and the Bears 3 years ago. In the legal tampering period, the Bears gave Ogunjobi 3 years and $42 million, and by end of day Wednesday, that contract never got signed because he failed the physical, and Ryan Poles opted to back out of that deal. And it's rare, but it does happen. So I will say from Fry's standpoint, he got more money and more years, but if he fails a physical, Minnesota could back out if they wanted to. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, Vertil, is that right? We've spent too many resources on the line this offseason. Got to go D-line or Genty or trade back. Yeah, so Matt Miller made an interesting comment on the score today that we'll get to. We got a little news and rumors segment we're going to dive into here in a little bit. He kind of had your thinking of, like, you can't go O-line at 10 now. Like, I wouldn't even think that's in play. I think that's too strong. It's absolutely in play. But what the Bears have done is now they don't have to go O-line. If they feel like an O-lineman's the best player on their board, cool, take him. You still, you can't have enough guys up there. If you love Ashton Genty or someone else sitting there, take that player too. So the Bears have done a good job of creating flexibility for themselves heading into the draft coming up in 6 or 7 weeks.
What it would be like to know an NFL GM's board and how high they value certain players. I mean, I'd imagine they're pretty similar to ours, but just how do they view Armin Minbu, or how do they view a Campbell compared to a Genty?
I will say this, and we're gonna do. I got a whole segment. I'm gonna do. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow of ranking the options at number 10 in order of how I see it right now of who I would take if I was the Bears. If Will Campbell, in the Bears' eyes, can't play left tackle, I think he has to be a little lower. I don't think he's we're not drafting him no matter what, but I'll put it this way. If they think Minbu can play left tackle, he has to be higher, because what is your biggest question mark position beyond for this year and beyond this year? It's left tackle. Your other 4 spots are set at minimum for this year, and most of them for at least 2 years. Now, both your guards, you could get out of there, Tooney until he gets extended, which I still think will happen. But as of now, as a free agent next year, Jonah Jackson, you can get out of his deal next year. So if you think Will Campbell's an awesome guard, you could certainly still take him. But left tackle, A, is a more valuable position, and B, Braxton Jones is recovering from a major injury and is set to be a free agent next year. So if they have a left tackle in that tier of player, or a guy that can play left tackle, I think you have to rank that player higher than Will Campbell if they're in the same tier. I just do. Okay.
Next super chat, but Aaron Rodgers, Schefter just had the note. They are officially releasing him after 4 p.m. today. Jets will take on $49 million in dead money by releasing Rodgers. He's designated as a post-June 1st cut. Going through all the contract details. So Rodgers now will officially be on the market in roughly about 40 minutes or so.
Yep. So we'll see if that ramps up. A lot of rumors circulating there, as it appears that it's going to be a post-June 1 cut, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought I mentioned that. My fault.
You might have. I might have been in my own world because I'm reading this Venmo from our guy Edward. But we'll see. It sounds like the Steelers are the favorites, but until Rodgers decides, it appears the Giants will hold out. I saw Peter Schrager earlier today say that Rodgers could take weeks. I'm sorry. In 2025, you can't be waiting weeks for Aaron Rodgers. Now, you could say, well, what else are the Giants going to do? It's I don't know. Anything?
Anything else. Anything else. anything else. I'll read this one from Jay. If we don't re-sign Keenan Allen, would you want to see Caleb Williams wear the number 13? Totally, if he wants to. For me, like,
that's been thrown out. I don't have a strong opinion. 18 grew on me throughout the season at first. I was like, he wore 18 in high school, so I'll say this. Anytime you switch a number, you got to pay for the jersey inventory of the old number you left, so it would cost him some money. So he's got plenty of it, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know. He wore 13 at USC, so maybe he'd new year, new number. Certainly could be a possibility. Edward Haney with the 20. He gets 4 Raffle tickets and a wheel spin. We'll get to that wheel spin in a second, but we also got a $20 super chat, which means another wheel spin from our guy, Rollbar. He gets 2 raffle tickets via super chat. So loading back up. If you guys want in on the jersey raffle, we got you guys covered. $10 to enter, 2 for the price of 1 via Venmo and Cash App.
100%.
All right, we'll spin this first one for Edward. Second one will be for our guy, Rollbar.
Here we go. What will be? Oh, looks like I'm drinking.
Oh, Nelly.
There we go.
Oh, Nelly. Colin Beer Bong.
All right, we'll see if Harry's
Let's see if I
joining me.
match him. Yeah, that'd be nice.
We'll see.
I'd be in.
They get a whole fresh pack of Happy Dads, so we got all the flavors.
Raffle ticket for Roll Bar. So he's got a third one now.
There we go.
You guys let me know in the chat, 13 or 18 for Caleb, if
13 or
Keenan
18.
Allen's not back. 13 or 18.
All right, I'll let you read this while I take down this beer bong.
All right, DC Vipe. I still would like to trade down. I would like a guy like Josh Simmons or Jackson. Who am I missing? Jackson. Donovan Jackson. Yeah, I'll be curious to see where teams view him. I still think he's more of a guard, but he played pretty well at tackle as well. Maybe trade down for Hampton, but I would love to add more picks. Yeah, I think, look, to me it's simple. Like, if there's a player you value as a blue chipper at 10 and he's there, I think you take him. If there's several blue chippers left, which in this draft there probably won't be, or if there's none, maybe the Bears have 8 guys they label as blue chippers and they're all gone, then I think trading back becomes more of a viable option. So I think it's one of those things where you just got to be flexible going in. You got to be prepared to take a player, but be ready to work the phones if said player you want or said players you really like in that value are on the board. So just have to wait and see it play out. I'll say this. If you want certain guys to get there at 10, things you should be rooting for. At least 2 quarterbacks to go in the top 9. Cam Ward's for sure going to go. There's chatter Shedeur could fall out. Shedeur falling out would not be good for the Bears. Although, maybe a team, if he's there at 10, would trade up with you, so that could be interesting. But, yeah, you should be rooting for that. You should be rooting for all the receivers to go early. Get Matt Golden in the top 10. McMillan go top 10.
Jahdae Barron somehow to sneak up in there.
Get some DBs in there.
Shamar Stewart.
Will Johnson.
Yeah.
Like, you want trenches players, Genty, Tyler Warren. That's who I want falling to 10. Some combination of those players based on what the Bears need. Okay, shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring Chicago Bears Now. PrizePicks is the best daily fantasy sports app in North America, and it's being played in more than 30 states. If it's available in your state, get signed up today at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. They'll give you an additional $50 when you sign up and play for just $5. Set that first $5 lineup of 2 or more players, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Once you set it, you're going to get an additional $50 for free. PrizePicks has stat projections. You pick more or less for players. It's that simple. Examples, points, rebounds, assists in basketball. You got goals in hockey and soccer. Once football season gets here, you got yards, passing, rushing, receiving, touchdowns, all kinds of stuff. You can cross over sports with your picks. You could have a basketball and a baseball player in your same lineup. I got a little 2-player entry right now. Anthony Edwards, you get a little delayed Taco Tuesday deal here, which is pretty sweet. 22.5 points. Take the more on that. That's well below his average. And then Quentin Grimes has been cooking for the Sixers. I like the more of 19.5 points for him as well. $5 to win 15 here. But again, doesn't matter if you win or lose that first $5 entry once you place it. you are going to get an additional 50 for free. In certain lineups, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yes, you can turn $10 into 10,000 with PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. More than $10 billion in earnings given out. You could get in on that action. Do it today. Link is in the live chat. Check out PrizePicks. All right, shout out to you guys. We crossed 118,600. Our goal on our video today was to cross 118,500. We were like 25 away. Y'all zoomed past that, so we're now trying to get to 119,000 subs. Hit that subscribe button. We got over 1,000 people watching. Appreciate the love, the support, the growth we've had on this channel this off season. Myself, Cullen, we got you guys covered every single day. It's going to be a lot of fun this off season here on Bears Now. So rock and roll with us.
Ditto. Dennis, Chicago kid. O-line is solid, but depth concerns me. Jones, Dahlman, Jonah all coming off injuries, and our depth, like Bates and Karan too, need to draft bodies. Bear down.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't take at least one offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds. Whether it's a developmental guy, a guy who can compete for a starting job, a guy that has 2026 starting outlook on him. Whatever it is, I think they'll take at least one. I would like to bring Matt Pryor back. He's still out there. I don't know what his price tag would be, but he can play guard. He can play tackle. I love him. I think as a number 6 offensive lineman in today's NFL, he's a great guy to have. Selfless player. They asked him to move around. He's versatile, team guy. I would like him back. I'm hopeful for a guy like Bill Murray who flashed in limited snaps last year. Can he be a quality backup guard? I think that's in play. And then obviously Karan Amagaji, can he at least get to a point where you feel like he can be a serviceable backup? Like, if you told me right now he becomes a good backup, I'd probably take it. Now, you took him in the 3rd. You're hoping he could be more than that. But if he became a guy you at least felt comfortable with, can he be a little better than what Larry Borom was? Borom last year was awful, but the first 3 years of his rookie contract, he was fine. Serviceable player, could play tackle, could play guard. Can Amagaji be a better version of Larry Borom? If you got that and he kind of was a, top fill-in when guys get hurt, played well, you're hoping for more. But if he at least got to that point, I think we'd take it. As far as Ryan Bates go, I'd probably cut him, save the $4 million. If you want to bring him back on the vet minimum, cool. But guy had an arthritic shoulder last year. He had a concussion issue that knocked him out of several games. So I get it. He's, you might view him as a backup center guard option, but he's not, to me, that much of a priority. I would rather just cut him and sign Matt Pryor, if I'm being completely honest. Crimson, do you think defensive end is off the table in the first round, given the Bears having big money on Montez and Dio? I don't think it's off the table. I don't love it at 10. I like it more in a trade down scenario. Mykel Williams kind of had an average pro day today, so I don't think he's a guy I would take at 10. But if you trade it down to 16 or 18, he enters the fray for me. Shamar Stewart, awesome testing. I need more production, though. I wish he had more production. Taking that at 10 is a little bit rich. Even the Mike Greens, I like all these guys in the teens. I don't love them at 10. I'd be a little disappointed if edge is the route they went at the 10th pick. But in a trade down scenario, I'd be cool with it for sure. Adam Downing, I want a T-shirt with your face and quote, "I'll say this." Is that one of my go-tos?
Yes.
We all have them.
Yeah.
I'll have to work on that one. Thanks for pointing it. Because as an on-air,
we're all guilty of
talent's a weird word, but you're always trying to be cognizant of repeated phrases, right?
Yeah.
So I'll work. That'll be the next one I work on.
Another one. What say you?
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Again, I'm not perfect as a producer. You guys have seen plenty of my mistakes that I need to work on, but that's one where
I'll say this. What say you? Okay, I'll try to get those.
None of us are perfect.
I'll try to limit those usage. What's in the NBA usage rate?
Usage rate.
Try and get that usage rate down. Try and get that.
I don't think you're James Harden or Russell Westbrook level, but I mean,
get the ball out of my hands a little bit. We'll work on it. Okay.
Dad music. Options for best burner wide receiver for us to draft or acquire in free agency. We already have the yak and contested catch guys and more in a Dunze, respectively.
Best burner. Who's just the best pure? Well, I guess it'd be Matthew Golden, but he's going to go super high. Although I think he's more than just a burner.
I mean, I got 2 guys that ran 4.3 as my crushes, I will say.
Your Auburn guy and Jalen Noel.
Yeah.
Jalen Noel.
Jalen Noel.
Yeah, I think those are a couple. I still think Isaiah Bond can be that.
Yeah.
Like, when he's fully right, he can burn. I'm hoping a guy like him slips to day 3. Not for his sake, but for my sake. Like, if a guy like that's on the board in day 3, if you got to pick, like, I'm pretty interested. Because I feel like Isaiah Bond's a guy, like, there's untapped potential there. Like, for whatever reason, it's never all come together at Bama, Texas. He had the high ankle sprain last year. But, like, when he's right, I mean, he's pretty smooth. I think he's a pretty intriguing talent.
It's hard for me to envision him falling past.
You feel like some team in like the 80s or 90s will just be like, we'll just take a chance on him. Like, he's just too talented, too fast. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, the trade's official, by the way. All right.
Trade's official.
Cowboys, they're done. That's their offseason.
Yeah, pack it up, Tom.
Their next move will be they'll extend Parsons for like $43 million a year in August after a long stalemate.
That they will.
All right, we'll get to some more super chats here in a moment. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Every 300 likes, we're taking shots. We're at 186. Let's get a 50% like rate. That's what the bosses are asking. Got over 1,200 people. If we get 600, we're halfway there. 50% like rate. So once we get to 300 like, which is just a 25% rate, we're taking a shot. So there you go.
Yeah, keep liking that button.
Calling through 2.5 days of free agency, what are a couple things to you that have stood out the most?
A couple things that have stood the most out to me. Well, let's see. It's a good question. Teams don't care about the free agency start period. That's for one. I mean, I feel like most of the interesting moves happened really before free agency even got off the ground. I mean, obviously, DK Metcalf trade. The Bears made a couple of trades. Josh Allen signed a huge extension before free agency technically kicked off.
A lot of the big names re-signed.
Yeah. Let's see.
I've got one while you're thinking.
Go for it.
Teams will always, or I think moving forward, teams more than anything else will overpay for trenches, even average players.
Yeah.
If you are a starting level lineman in this league, you will get paid a lot of money for the most part. Now, some guys get squeezed out. Like a James Daniels only getting $8 million per year compared to Will Fries.
Right.
That's an example of that. But Will Fries plays 5 good games last year, breaks his tibia, and makes $88 million. I mean, I like the guy, but that's why I was wary, guys. That's why I was like, yes, go get Joe Tooney. I don't care that he's 32. For 2 to 3 years, I know what he can give me. Jonah Jackson, I get he's coming off a down year, but and makes decent money, but you can get out of it next year if it doesn't work out. Those are more calculated. I think that's another thing too. I think you're going to see moving forward is day 3 picks, especially in this NIL era where guys are more likely to go back to school and make some money. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you can get a starting caliber player for a 5th round pick, go do it, because the chances of you finding a player of that ilk with the 5th rounder are pretty low.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about it with Trey Smith, right, when he was still a potential possibility for the Bears. The contract that we were all throwing out, everyone's like, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable paying it. It's that's just the price of offensive linemen nowadays. A player of Trey Smith's quality just isn't available in free agency.
Yeah,
just doesn't
which
happen
honestly,
at his age. He
might just play on the tag, because with the money some of these free agents got, I mean, if you're Trey Smith's agent, you're you have to pay my guy at least $25 a year. Mm-hmm. I mean, Will Fries got $18 a year. Mm-hmm. You're telling me Smith at 20 or 21 is going to cut it? He's going to get 25. If he hit the market, he would have gotten $25 million at least.
Yep.
Milton Williams, nice player on a loaded rotation, $26 million a year. I mean, it's just, if you can make an impact in the trenches, you are going to make money.
Yes. Also, number one takeaway, or I guess another takeaway, better to be early than late in terms of extending guys. We've seen it
That's always been true.
It's always, but like especially now, like the teams that are going out and really aggressively extending guys, because again, obviously the signings are going to be the big talking points of free agency. But I mean, Josh Allen, that extension that they're paying for him, I mean, it's going to look like
pretty reasonable.
Yeah, especially given like where the NFL's headed in a few years, like. People look at that number and they see 300+ million. They're going to be, wow, like huge number. Like in a couple of years, I mean, that's going to be potentially not necessarily the standard, but you'll see, multiple guys. I remember when Mahomes initially signed his extension, kind of thinking, all right, that's a huge contract. Well, now you see he's, bottom half of top 10 in guys getting paid. So,
well, I mean, even like Saquon, everybody's like 1 year into a 3-year deal, they're extending him. Well, yeah, because A, they're rewarding the player because he carried them this year, and B, with 2 years left, that's another thing. If you extend guys, if you feel strongly about a guy and he's got multiple years, the Bears did this with DJ Moore, multiple years left on their deal. Even if you give them a huge extension, it's more years to spread it out over. So the cap hits can be more managed for these teams. Now, I will say this, the 1 year early versus 1 year late thing, I think quarterback can be the one exception, unless it's Allen, Mahomes, like the no-doubter guys. I'd rather be a year late on Purdy if I'm the 49ers, then pay him now, which I think they're going to do with all these guys they're letting go. I think they're gearing up to pay Brock. I'd rather be a year late than a year early because, to me, getting yourself into – and maybe it works out with Tua and Trevor, but 1 year in, it doesn't look great. Like, I have to be damn sure that guy can win a Super Bowl for me, or at least gives me a chance to, because – you just throw a blank check at a quarterback because that's just a different level of contract that can weigh you down. I think there's a lot to be learned from the Watson extension, the Watson contract. It's one thing to be a year early on a skill guy or even a pass rusher or whatever. Like, yeah, $25-30 million per year, that's a lot. But like a year or two in, you can get out of that. I mean, like the Niners are already open to trading Ayuk 1 year into his deal. Like, that won't cripple you long term. You pay the wrong quarterback, I mean, you are in danger for years. So I think that's the one position you got to be damn sure about.
Yeah, and that's 100% totally fair. Yeah, because if you're stuck with, like, paying a Tua like he's a Mahomes.
Like, are you paying Purdy 50+ right now?
Not
like,
a chance.
I would offer him.
Not a chance.
Darnold got 3 for 100.5. I'd give him more. There's more skins on the wall. I'd give him 3 for 120. 40 a year. With 90 guaranteed, and I'd say this is our offer. Otherwise, we're playing it out. Take it or leave it. I may even go 100 guaranteed. Like, that's a good offer. like that is what I would offer. So, and Purdy would probably say no. Then you play it out. But like, to me, unless like it's kind of it when you see it. Purdy is still in that murky range for me. Coming off the year he just came off of. Plus, a lot of his buddies aren't on the team anymore. How's he going to play this year? Because he didn't play great last year, so that's almost another reason why I just play it out.
Chino says Purdy is a top 10 quarterback. Don't kid yourself. I think I could comfortably name 10 quarterbacks better than Brock Purdy.
I think he's in you could put him in, like, the argument for it, but, like, I think if you said that 12 months ago, you'd have a better argument than you do now.
That's fair.
Like,
but even then, I don't know if I would have him top 10 12 months
I think
ago.
I'll put it this way. He is much closer to 15 than he is to 5.
Yes.
So if you want to say he's top 10, like, there are certain things you can point to, metrics, I'm sure, that would support it. But I would have 3 or 4 other guys that you probably don't have in the top 10 that I could make arguments for as well.
Miliano said Caleb over Purdy and then also Cullen over Purdy, so that's why I was celebrating a little bit.
Moon says Purdy can argue he's top 5. He cannot argue he's top 5.
At least
guys,
not in the sane world that we live in.
Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow. That's an undisputed top 4.
Yeah.
So you're saying he's the 5th guy?
No.
Come on. You're not taking him over Justin Herbert. I don't care. I don't care that Herbert has not won a playoff game. Like, you just have to watch. Like, you're not taking him over Justin.
He's not even the top quarterback in his own division.
If Herbert was the Niners quarterback in one of those 2 Super Bowls, I know Purdy wasn't the first time. I think they would have won at least one of those. Maybe. I mean, they were right there for both of them.
Could argue. Again, I'd take Matt Stafford right now. So I know our boss was saying today that Matthew Stafford.
I'd take Stafford right now over Purdy.
100%. Again, future. Again, he's older. But.
Yeah, if you're saying like who would I give a contract to, I'd probably give it to Purdy because he's 12 years younger. But let's see. Purdy over Lamar, Purdy over Herbert. That is, I mean, are you Purdy's agent? Genuine says, tell me about Xavier Watts. He signed with the Titans, didn't he? Oh, wait, no, that's
the Notre
Xavier
Dame
Woods.
safety.
The Notre Dame safety?
Yeah.
I mocked him to the Bears in a mock.
Him and Makuba are the two most ball-hawking safeties in this draft class. And I think Watts is a seamless plug-and-play for Brisker.
13 picks last 2 years.
Yeah.
I'd argue Caleb over Purdy. We got to see more. But, like, it's 1 year in. Talent-wise, yes. It's much more gifted than Brock Purdy is.
Jeremiah says, Montez and 10 for 17, Trey, and 119.
Oh, Lord. My only question is, what are the cap implications for all that?
Yeah.
On the surface, I'd probably do that because I think Trey, well, yeah, I'd probably do that. Trey's the better player. Sweat's a better run defender. He's a couple years younger. What's the cap implication? Because just because you trade a guy, you'll still have a Montez. Like, here, I'll just pull it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Montez Sweat, if you traded him right now, you are still carrying, I mean, he's still almost $13 million on your books. So not undoable, but, like, then you're getting Hendrickson and you're probably giving him a massive extension. Again, you can do it, but it's not like it's a nothing burger on your books, Sweat going out the door.
Plus, the whole point of, acquiring Trey Hendrickson is to pair him with Montez Sweat in his pass rush.
That's my thing, too. It's like, yeah, exactly. And I think the Hendrickson thing died with Adangbo, not because Adangbo is in the ballpark of Trey Hendrickson, but just because with the money you've given out, him and Jarrett combo, it's like that type of money is what you would have given just Hendrickson. You know what I mean? Like, if you combine those contracts. So, I just think the ship has sailed. I think he'll be playing elsewhere. Hope it's not the Commanders because they would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Bears goated. You sound much better today. Stay healthy. Yeah, like if yesterday if my shambles meter was like a 9 out of 10, I'm at like a 6.5 today. I'm definitely doing a lot better.
100%.
Definitely doing a lot better. All in Daphne. Under what circumstances does Velus Jones come back? He will not be back. I mean, the only way he would ever be back is if he proved himself elsewhere for a while, hit free agency, and the Bears brought him back later in his career. But especially as long as polls this year, I think that ship is just has sailed. All right, here's our super chat menu. If you want to get in on our Bears jersey raffle, $10 if you Venmo me at HGramNFL, Cash App, $HGramNFL. 2 for the price of 1. Unlimited tickets. Whoever wins will get a Bears jersey of their choice, which is pretty cool. $20 will spin the roulette wheel. $50 get you into our Bears Now Helmet Hall of Fame Club. We're out of stickers, but we're getting everybody on there that since 50 or more. If you want to bring the boom $100 super chat, we're keeping tabs of our boom club during free agency week, and then every $1,000 is a beer boot. If you want to get in on that as well. So,
yeah.
Oh, Eddie Goldman to the Commanders. Bears legend.
Fowler, I think, had that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I don't even know how Eddie Goldman played last year. Let's see. He's like retired like 3 times. Eddie Goldman last year. Overall grade 49. Pass rush 61. Run defense 47. Not very good. Not very good. All right, shout out to PrizePicks. Daily Fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. You want to make some money? You want to get in on all the sporting action? It's literally daily fantasy. Daily. Every single day. You can set new lineups, multiple lineups per day. You don't have to get bogged down with the same players all season long. Don't have to just do one sport. All sports are available. You pick more or less on the stat projections. And if you hit, you win. And you make some money. 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams qualifies as a lineup, up to 6-player lineups. Certain lineups you can get up to 1,000 times your money, turn $10 into 10,000. But first step is creating an account. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus once you sign up and play for $5. You can set this lineup right now, $5. You could fade me or go the other way. Chase me if you want. Anthony Edwards get a little discount on the more on his points, and then Quentin Grimes like the more on his as well tonight. He's been hot recently. 5 to win 15, but again, you want to set larger lineups, you can get up to 1,000 times your money if you win. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. More than $10 billion in earnings given out by PrizePicks. You should be one of them. Get in on the action. Start today. Get signed up. Link is in the comments and in the description. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play for $5. Okay. Bear down from H-Town. He says, future Bears and Saints fan.
He added this in the chat that his baby is here May 16th. So congratulations on the baby. Shout out to the baby.
Is your sig other a Saints fan? Is that just your second team? What's the story there? But
yeah,
congrats. I don't know if it's your first, but
yeah.
my first and only turns 2 next month. It's an amazing journey. So best of luck, and tell your sig other that we're thinking of her. Good job. Good
stuff, man.
Congrats.
Yeah, he said bear down and go Saints.
Wife is from New Orleans. There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
I love New Orleans, man. Great city.
Great city.
It's
got to be one of the best food cities in the country.
Great food. I think it's a great vacation spot. Like long weekend or even up to a week, there's a lot to do. You know, everybody talks about Bourbon, and Bourbon Street's great, but dude, the French Quarter is just the scenes. Like you feel like you're in a different country. It's like the architecture is awesome. There's a river right there. It's just amazing, man. It's amazing. I love it. Gotta get back soon.
Yeah, I only went once. Me and my buddy were helping him move him up to, ironically, Penn State for college. We passed through New Orleans and hit up Bourbon Street, so got a little experience down there.
Oh no, you had to pass through
I know,
New Orleans.
crazy,
oh, no.
right? Yeah, crazy. 2 kids straight out of high school, but yeah, no, it was a good time, man. It was really good. He says, house divided when we play each other. Lost a few bets already, LMAO.
Yeah, what was the in 2020, the Mitch Foles year? Played him twice. Foles lost in overtime in the regular season, and then Trubisky lost in the playoffs. What's up?
Eddie Goldman to the Commanders.
He is so cooked. He's how many times? There is a 30% chance he will retire before week 1. He's retired like 3 times.
I don't good to know. I'm about to do it.
Are you still alive, or did y'all call it?
We called it after McAfee.
How are we feeling today? You think McAfee was just stirring the pot by retweeting that?
Had to have.
Well, McAfee
Talking to our Steelers host right now.
McAfee said that they all want him to go to Pittsburgh. And
Oh, they all want him.
And they have all told him apparently that they want him to go to Pittsburgh. So,
Well, this is a guy that wanted to go to the Jets, so he's not known for good decisions all the time. But I think he'd be insane to go to the Giants over the Steelers.
I agree. I think so. Apparently, Schefter just said on ESPN that Rodgers talked with the Steelers on Monday, and he hasn't talked with the Giants or the Steelers since then. So my theory is he's in the darkness right now.
Yeah. Oh, he's at a retreat somewhere.
Darkness retweet, and then when he gets out, it'll just come to him.
Yes. So who knows when he will emerge from that darkness? But,
Schrager said he could take weeks to decide. I mean,
What are we doing here?
I mean, it's 2025. Are we really waiting weeks for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think Schrager said that in the light of we just don't know when he's going to be making it.
It was probably more tongue in cheek. Like it's Rodgers. It could.
Exactly. Let's get this shit going.
That's what I'm saying, Coop.
Get out of the cave. It's 2025. Stop holding the league hostage.
Let's figure this out.
Jeez,
All right.
man. Jeez.
Our
Yeah,
Steelers
I mean,
host is
on
Aaron Rodgers' watch.
y'all get down below. We asked this question on 4Verts today, Harry's other channel. Where do you think Rodgers goes? Steelers, Giants?
S for Steelers, G for Giants. I think he's a Steeler. There's no logic. I guess the only logic you would say of going to the Giants is it is an offensive head coach, and the NFC on paper isn't as tough as the AFC, although I think the NFC is rapidly improving.
Mm-hmm.
That thing feels like a sinking ship, dude. Like, you really want to go out with the Giants. At least if it doesn't work in Pittsburgh, you can be like, all right, I tried to end my career in a place with a highly respected coach and a franchise with a good reputation. the Giants historically have a good reputation, but have not for the better part of a decade. Like, I'd rather take a swing with Mike Tomlin than that situation in New York. I mean, I think that
Agreed.
seems pretty easy, right?
No, I 100% agree. Like, if you're looking at situations, like the Giants have been a dumpster fire really for, God, it seems like forever. Like the last like really competent that you saw the Giants was arguably when Eli took them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean that playoff year a couple years ago was completely fluky.
Yeah.
They went like 10
infamous
and
bowl picture.
Didn't they go like 8-1 in one-score games or something?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Wife says thank you for the shout out. You're welcome. We're rooting for you.
Yeah. I mean, hey, good, great town.
No,
2011 Super Bowl was the last time they were relevant. I mean, God, that's forever ago.
That's when they beat the Patriots for the second time.
Yeah. Infamous
All right.
time. All right, getting back to
the new league years in 9 minutes.
9 minutes.
You want to get kind of through the new league years, see if there's anything early on, and then hop into that rumors cut?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to hit PrizePicks a little earlier so that way we can.
That sounds good.
Let's talk some Bears here.
Should the Bears extend Kyler Gordon? He talked to the media today after winning the Ed Block Courage Award. Yes or no? This is the poll question. Overwhelmingly, yes is the answer. I'm actually going to change the poll question to a little something else.
Something else?
You want to give some shout-outs here?
Sure. We got Scott saying yes. Diego saying yes. Dennis says no brainer. The Bears Necessity says yes. Brandon says yes. Christian says no, wait.
Okay.
Wait for what?
Well, he could be just wait for this year to play out. But I'd get it done.
I'd get it done. That's more or less what I was referring to. Lacora saying yes. Cody saying yes. Ziganji saying yes. Santana says yes. Let's see. Brad says heck yes. Yes. Yes, yes. Bunch of yeses. Freddie saying yes. Jamie, Buddy. The Grinch says yes. Denny saying yes. Emmanuel saying yes. Marco, Ahmad, Terrell. Gaming, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, to me, it just makes sense. Like, I don't know where Kyler Gordon, off the top of my head, ranks in terms of slot corners. Every time I saw him on TV during this past season, like, it felt like he was making a play. And a positive one at that.
He's just so versatile. The nickel position's become so important now. I also just think it's telling, too, that both Ben Johnson, offensive guy who's the head coach, and Dennis Allen went out of their ways to mention him in their introductory pressers. That kind of tells me, like, that's a player they identified on tape. Like, he's a difference maker. He's a difference maker. Also, it was Ryan Pohl's first pick. It's like, you just want to extend that player, I would imagine, if you're him anyway, right? Like, hey, I got my first pick, right? Like, let's keep that guy here. Gordon had some comments today. He wants to be here. So I think that gets done. Now, maybe they wait. They do it after the draft or something before training camp. But if I had to guess, I think that's one that gets done before training camp.
Agreed. Also say Santana sent in the chat that he got your email. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it after the show, Santana. We'll get the ball moving on that. Here, I'm sending a Slack for what I need for this cut in a bit. If you want to just give them a couple shout outs or
I got you.
Talk a little bit.
Yeah, Booker saying yes. James says Deo. Jesse says after the draft, yes, which that could also be an option. Yep, Luke, we just talked about Eddie Goldman. Chino saying pretty sure Brisker's doing fine. He'll be really interesting to see this year, man. Coming off, obviously, the longest concussion injury that I've ever seen. Be interesting to see. Guys in the chat are saying the Bears are doing a press conference.
Oh, are they talking right now?
Is there?
I know Poles and Johnson are talking today. We're not going to carry that because I don't know if they're putting that out on their social, but we can react to it live with you guys.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Clay Webb sits in the super chat, says, is there any scenario we take McMillan and supercharge the offense? No, he's got a pretty similar skill set to Rome, but if he's there at 10, question mark. I'll give my take. I think if you're supercharging this offense, it goes Genty, then Warren, and then McMillan. Because it's just receiver 3, given the fact that you have Cole Kmet, you have DJ, and Rome, like to add another potential pass target, like I'd rather get a Tyler Warren who could be a more fluid kind of just weapon than McMillan. And clearly Genty's the number 1 target for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love McMillan, don't get me wrong, but I just think, like, then you're squeezing out one of your receivers. Who's getting squeezed out? Like, I think we kind of saw last year, like, you can have a big 3 at receiver, but, like, it's almost like, it sounds stupid to say, but, like, you almost don't want your third guy having the ability of a number 1. Like Keenan Allen last year. He's been a 1 his whole career.
Yep.
He comes in. Now, Rome was clearly the 3 last year, but, like, by the end of the season, ideally, it's like, okay, you want DJ and Rome to be your primary guys, and that never really happened. And I think I don't think that was super ideal. So, like, that's why if you bring Keenan back, if the price is right, I'm all for it. But, like, to me, Rome needs a higher volume share of targets. DJ needs to be back to being a consistent 1,000-plus yard guy. He was in the 900s last year. But where you go Tyler Warren, it does a couple things. One, you can get more versatile with your formations. Run 12, you can run more 13. You can run 11 personnel where he's the receiving tight end. Also, it gives you flexibility in the next couple years. Like, as much as I like Cole Kmet, if you don't want to give him a third contract, you could just let him go, or he could be a trade candidate down the road. And again, I love Cole. He's from the Chicago area. Ideally, he's a Bear for life, but, like, you know, he's not going to be a tight end 1 for 12 years probably. So it gives you the flexibility of, like, hey, in the short term, you got 2 really good players. In the long term, there's your Cole Kmet replacement. So, yeah, all things equal, I would take Warren over McMillan.
Agreed. Matt J, we just talked about it. I guess a press conference.
I don't know when it is. I just saw a couple tweets yesterday that both are available to talk to the media today. I would assume it's around 3 or 3:30 when the new league year starts, but I don't think we're going to see any, like, earth-shattering announcements. I think they'll probably just talk about the moves they've made so far since they'll become official, and you know, we'll see what else. So we won't have the presser on here, but we can react to it. We'll react to it.
Fair enough. Jacob, do we get a comp pick if Keenan signs elsewhere?
Depends on the overall formula in terms of players going out, guys coming in, money, all that stuff. So I read the other day, I think there's a chance still the Bears could get a future comp pick if him and Tevin sign elsewhere. Unclear at this time what that would be, especially as they remain free agents. Still quiet around those two. So
fair enough. How about this? Next $10 super chat, I'm ripping a little beer bong ski.
$10, wow.
A little beer bong ski for $10.
Wednesday discount, I love it.
You know, hey, look, you know, Harry's back. He's in the fold. Like, we need to get the juice pumping again.
If it's a 20 or if 2 people send a 10s, I'll join them. Why not? New league year. We're 1 minute away.
Let's go.
2025 NFL league year. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I did just see some NFL news come through. Let's see.
Steelers are signing Brandon Eccles.
Okay.
Okay.
Jets defensive back heading to Pittsburgh.
All right.
Get on it, Sperry.
That is that. Here in a few minutes, once the new league year passes, I got to hop off and make a call. It's about this. Got to call the oral surgeon about setting up an appointment. They just left me a message, so.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just give me a sec here.
Cool.
Make sure there's no just flood of info coming in. But,
Emiliano, you better be back, brother.
People in the chat. So I guess the Bears YouTube is live. Let's see.
We shall see.
We shall see. Let's see.
Let's see. Oh, shoot.
Oh, they are live. But it hasn't started yet. They're just hanging. All right, I'll actually hop off now before this gets rolling. Oh, Russell Wilson visiting the Browns this week.
Whoa!
I kind of wondered if Russ would be like, you know what? y'all think I'm just going to wait for Rodgers? I might go check out other options.
Imagine if the Giants' only option is...
What if the Browns sign Russ and then Rodgers, whoever he doesn't pick? If I'm the Giants, I'll be honest, I don't really care. I'm just drafting a QB at that point. But the Steelers could be screwed.
Imagine if they have to try to pry away Kirk Cousins.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's getting juicy.
That is something.
It is getting juicy. As we get a $10 super chat from Michael Ortman. Appreciate you, brother. He says, love it. I got you. Here's the thing. If we get another 10 before Harry has to hop off, we'll do a beer bong race. If not, I'll just rip one. We'll chat it up. We'll be talking free agency. And, yeah, just having a good old time, man.
They're talking right now. Let's see.
Russell Wilson meeting the Cleveland Browns.
Let's go. Let's go.
Shout out to you, man.
Let's get it.
Oh, Marsh is freaking out.
What's he saying?
Hold on.
That's Trace.
I hear somebody yelling out. You know I automatically got to assume. Apologies.
No,
My bad.
That's a fair assumption.
My bad.
Jack Sanborn to the Cowboys. He follows Flus.
Wow. Okay. The Browns and Giants have scheduled free agency meetings with Russell Wilson per Adam Schefter.
The Browns and Giants?
Yep, according to Schefter.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, he says scheduled to fly tonight to Cleveland to visit with the Browns on Thursday before flying to New York Thursday night to visit Friday with the Giants.
Oh, man.
Ho ho!
So I wonder if the Giants are just moving on from Rodgers. They don't think they're getting him.
Wow.
Bears officially tweeted about Grady Jarrett.
Wow, wow, wow.
Joe Tooney. We'll tweet this out. Jack Sanborn follows Matt Eberflus.
Mike, it's kind of a C-D signing. MVS has not been the greatest receiver as of late. He is a deep threat, has the history obviously with Kubiak, but yeah, he cannot be your wide receiver 2 going into next year. Cannot be. Let's see. Who do we got here in the chat? Hendo says Warren and Judkins to Bears next season. Draft offensive line and defensive line down.
You could still get one of those two positions at 31, 9 or 41, assuming Judkins is one of those. That's possible. It would be funny as hell if Russ just signed with Cleveland.
Dude,
Could you imagine Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson in the same building?
They're polar opposites.
Now, I kind of just think they're going to tell Watson to stay away, but that is funny.
Wow, wow, wow. Classic Cowboys signing, though.
Oh, man. I like Sanborn. I kind of wanted the Bears to keep him, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? While more Russell Wilson Giants reporting.
Crazy.
All right.
Are you staying on, or what's the plan?
I'll stay for now. I'm going to see
Got
if
it.
these guys say anything in this presser.
I'm going to rip this beer bong from Michael. Shout out to you, brother.
Eagles signing. Ben Johnson says on the traits of the offensive lineman the Bears traded for, quote, smart is a word that comes to mind, particularly with the interior players. All right.
Fair enough.
All right.
All right.
Someone says linebacker is a sneaky round 3 option, probably round 5, though. Yeah, I think starting in round 3, that could be in play.
Could be.
They absolutely love someone in the second round, maybe, but
Fair
I'd
enough.
be a little surprised.
Michael, cheers, brother.
No one else wanted me to match Michael, huh? It's effed up.
We'll set up more deals. But, hey, it's all right. We're still going to be partying. We're still going to be rocking with y'all all throughout free agency. Done deal. Pelissero tweeting out the Javon Hargrave.
2 years, $30 million to the Vikings.
Whew. Unbelievable, baby.
Oh, man. got this Ramsey T. Ramsey T.
Yep. I don't know the truth behind this or if this was discussed. Did Drew Dalman take less money to play for the Bears?
Take less money to play for the Bears.
I saw a rumor about that. I don't know if it was ever
There was a report.
Okay.
I think it's possible. Now, did he take, like, significantly less? I don't know. But it was reported that he wanted to play in Ben Johnson's offense, so he left some money on the table. Now, maybe that was some agent talk, but who knows. Ben Johnson on Joe Thuney, quote, "This guy's a Pro Bowl caliber guard. That's what we're going to get out of him." Yeah, all pro caliber guard. Joe Thuney will play left guard, and Jonah Jackson will play right guard, so that's been confirmed.
Okay.
We kind of knew that or thought that, but
Now we've got it.
That's been confirmed.
Yeah, locked in.
Tweet that out real quick.
Ben Van Sumeren.
That's smart, by the way. Don't let the best player play his best position, and that's the weaker tackle too. So put Thuney over on that left side.
Agreed. Oh,
well,
it just went away. Give it a second.
Michael Ortman.
Michael Ortman is back. Are you ready to join me in a little beer bong race?
Did you not take that one down?
I already did.
Are you just going to do another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says for the both of you. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no.
Cullen is he's something special, man.
I got you.
Something special, man.
Whew.
All right.
I had a pineapple for my first one. I think this one's lime.
I have pineapple. Pineapple's like just solid.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's definitely not the worst.
You'll take it.
It'll get the job done.
Sometimes, like when you get a sandwich place for lunch, you know?
Yeah, it's a solid B. It's
Yeah.
getting the job done.
Gets the job done.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1.
Excuse me. Whew. Michael, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you. Fair enough.
All right.
Harry's still looking at the press conference. Do the Bears need to add another pass rusher? Type Y for yes and for no. Dude,
You guys let me know.
And if so, who?
Who do you want?
You want to add in the draft? Is there a free agent?
Let's see. Not seeing too much new info from the presser.
Yes, from Soldier Bear, excuse me. Dr. Doom says yes. Gamil says yes. Terry says yes. Unfamiliar says yes. Dark Cobra says yes. Yes from DC Viper. Charles says sure. Always draft one. Yes, yes, yes.
Slick Rick says, Mr. Unlimited, talking about Russell Wilson visiting the Giants on Friday. Giants contingency plan moving forward, trying to put some pressure on Aaron to get out of his K-hole and officially decide.
That's freaking hilarious.
Cardinals are signing Commanders linebacker Michael Walker. Super familiar with him. Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, any wide receivers worth signing? Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. We'll go through some of the
Top free agents.
yeah, top free agents here in a second. We just get a super chat in from Kyle Brewer. I figure wait till the end of the press conference, get into that cut, and then we can kind of go
make
through
sure
that.
There's nothing earth-shattering here.
Yeah.
Kyle Brewer, appreciate you. You got all these rafts coming through.
Gotcha.
I got a little.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know if this
I
is.
gotcha. I don't know why. It's like you can't move.
That's hard on a live show.
I know, right? I don't blame you. It's just the way that it is. Kyle, left tackle with our first pick for comp with Jones, or do you draft Ashton Genty?
I don't think the competition for Braxton Jones has to come in the first round. Doesn't mean it can't come in the first round, but don't think it has to. I think there's guys on day 2 that could come in and compete with Jones, like an Ariante Ursary, maybe a Josh Carnley gets there to 39 as well. So I think there's guys like that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't take a Mimbu over Genty necessarily. I think those would probably be my top 2 guys right now. If you think Mimbu can play left tackle, if you don't, then I would lean Genty. But that's kind of a long-winded way of saying that, you've got flexibility. But I do think there's guys on day 2 that can fit that competition for Braxton Jones that Ryan Poles was talking about. Read a few more comments here.
Yeah, well, Williams coming in. Could we
Malik
sign
Collins to the Browns. It's a pretty interesting sign.
Could we
Von
sign
Miller.
Von Miller? Yeesh.
I mean,
I don't think he fits the mold, nor do I really want him on this team, to be honest.
I mean, if you told me he was like $5 or $6 million, sure, but like he's just a rotational rusher at this point. So I think you'd have to pay him accordingly for that. So I think there's other, like, I'd rather have Zadarius Smith. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Agreed.
Come in, be that number 3 edge.
Yeah, agreed.
Booker's your 4. You're kind of set there. Yeah.
I'd agree.
That's kind of what I would think there.
Matt, J76, in your guys' opinion, what percentage is the moves being made by Poles and Ben Johnson? 50, 50?
It's collaborative. It's hard to put a pie chart, but I think it's clear that Johnson's influence is being felt. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Speaking of something we've been talking about, Ryan Poles and how free agency affects the Bears draft plans. Quote, "This hope opens the whole board for us," which is exactly what we've been talking about. They don't have to force it on the offensive line. They can take Ashton Genty if they want to. They can trade down if there's a move like that on the board.
Evan Ingram to the Broncos.
Oh, okay. There's a bit of a joker for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
2-year deal. All right. Also, Ben Johnson says he and Jonah Jackson had conversations in Detroit about what it's like to play and scheme against Grady Jarrett. That's pretty interesting. Quote, "You come out of the game and you're sore because you played against him." Love that.
Love it.
Just wear out your opponent, Grady.
Yep.
Oh, Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney, and Grady Jarrett are all in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Love it, love it. Keyshawn Cleveland. Draft landed Jackson, sent him behind Deo/Sweat. He's an option. Definitely not round 1, I would say, but potentially round 2. I don't know. I feel like he may be pushing it. I'd have to look at the board again, but would love him more later in round 2, to be honest. But he's an option
Yep.
at Arkansas.
No doubt. No doubt.
Fair enough. All right, I think we're all caught up with
Okay. They're
Supers.
still talking here, it looks
Okay.
like. Wonder what those numbers for Ingram is.
Yeah.
Brian Poles on Grady Jarrett. Oh, now Jonah Jackson and Joe Tooney are talking. Jeez. Wonder if I should pivot my content here. Someone who can help move this team to where we can go, need to go. Talking about Jarrett. I think he's talking about intangibles there.
Cooper Kupp designated as a post-June 1 release by the Rams.
Yep. Oh, interesting. Okay.
They were always going to have to move off of him, so no
Yep.
one was taking that contract
No.
in a trade.
Okay. Let's get into this cut now in case I want to do something about on these
Okay.
pressers like tonight. But let's get into some Bears rumors,
Give me 1 sec.
and we'll dive into it here. Coach and GM are done. Tooney and Jackson are talking now. Let's go. Apparently, Diana Rossini is reporting that Rodgers and the Vikings, there could be legs there.
Rodgers and the Vikings?
Here's Diana Rossini.
Whoa.
Vikings decision makers are still evaluating their options at quarterback, including the possibility of Aaron Rodgers. 4-time MVP is intrigued by the idea of playing in Minnesota. For now, it's a waiting game. Sources tell Mike Silver. And, man, Mike Silver had a tweet yesterday, Colin, where he basically said, are you able to stretch that at all, by the way? If not, it's okay.
Stretch.
The draft logo.
That's here. I'll try.
It's okay if you can.
Yeah.
Silver yesterday basically said, keep an eye on Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell is the primary voice with quarterback decision-making, and conversations are being had in the building. So maybe they don't feel great about McCarthy right now. That would be interesting. Oh, man. Things are heating up in NFL free agency, folks. Things are heating up in NFL free agency. All right. You're good. We can roll with that. All right. Got some Bear stuff to talk about. News and rumors coming up. We take a swig of water. You want to let them know we're starting here? Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We got a few stories to talk about, including these two stories. Kyler Gordon, is he going to get a contract extension from the Chicago Bears? Plus, the Bears going to pass on offensive line with the number 10 pick. We're also going to talk about Cooper Kupp, so stay tuned for that as well. Let's start with Spider-Man himself, Kyler Gordon. He talked about his future today after receiving the Ed Block Courage Award from the Bears. Gordon was asked, where are things at with the potential extension, this and that? Do you want to be here long term? Here's part of what Kyler had to say. Quote, I love Chicago. I love everything about it. The people, the history, the team, the community. This is where God is telling me to be. This is where I will be. It's where I want to be. As far as an extension, we'll see what happens. I've got no control of that, but God will. I think it's an interesting comment saying, I have no control over that in terms of the extension. Is that a signal that extension talks haven't started between Gordon and the Bears, or is that a signal of it's just the agent and the Bears? He's not really up to date on where things sit. Because to me, he was the one guy entering the final year of his rookie contract this year that an obvious extension candidate. Braxton Jones with his injury, I think you play this year out. Jaquan Brisker with his concussions, I think you play this year out. But Kyler Gordon, a guy who's had some minor injury concerns. He's missed 9 games in 3 seasons. So, it's a definitely something that would be discussed during these negotiations. But to me, as a second-round pick, the first selection Ryan Poles made as an NFL general manager, I think he's checked enough of the boxes that I would extend this guy. I would keep Kyler Gordon in this organization for the years to come. I'd give him a 3-4 year extension. You'd try to give it that $9-10 million per year, but maybe you go up to 11 or 12 based on some of the deals that just got done, like Jordan Lewis, for example. He got 3 for $30. Could you get that same deal? If you did, I think that's a win. Maybe you go slightly higher, 11, 3 for 33, something like that. But to me, he's shown me enough. And the fact that Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen went out of their way in their introductory pressers to bring up Kyler Gordon as a player they like, that tells me that this organization wants him here. Kyler wants to be here. Get something done. Also, Kyler Gordon said this, I think it's just about doing it right in terms of when it would happen. I'm not really pressed for time, whether it's here, now, or later. I think it's just about doing it right, just being fair. He also said he'd be, quote, extremely happy with an extension if it happened in the offseason. So he could say, I think it's just about doing it right. He wants an extension now. Players always want it sooner rather than later. More money now means more money later, right? You can invest that money. It's financial security, all that stuff. If he plays this year out and blows out his knee, he's losing money. So obviously he would like to get a deal hammered out. We will see if that happens. Maybe this is something the Bears shift their focus to, once free agency slows down, once the draft comes and goes. We'll have to wait and see. But again, to me, he is the guy I would like to extend and get done. Those other guys, Jaquan, Braxton, I'm playing this year out. We'll see what happens. There's too many concerns with those players, but Gordon is eligible, and I would like to get him extended. What say you? Should the Bears extend Kyler Gordon? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I absolutely would. I think he's absolutely worth it. Okay, before we get to some more stories here, I do want to tell you guys about our sponsor, PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you sign up and play for just $5. It's easy. You set lineups of 2 or more players. As long as it's 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams, it can be the same sport, different sport, doesn't matter. as long as you meet the requirements of 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams. You can win up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups with PrizePicks. Yes, you can turn $10 into 10,000. It's awesome. And I've got a little lineup for you guys if you want to chase me today. Anthony Edwards, get a little discount there, take the more on his points. Quentin Grimes has been hot recently, took the more on his points as well. $10 to win 30 on this one, so kind of a lower leverage payout situation. But again, if you want to go 5-player lineup, 6-player lineup, get up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups, you can do that. You hit, you win, you make money. It's that simple. $10 billion in earnings given out and counting from PrizePicks. You should get in on the winnings, and you can do so. Sign up today, prizepicks.com/CLNS. The code CLNS, once you set your first lineup, it's going to get you, of at least $5, is going to get you at least, or is going to get you a $50 bonus. Get signed up today. Shout out to PrizePicks. All right, coming up next, we got a few other storylines. Cooper Kupp. Want to talk a little NFL draft as well, plus a couple other just news nuggets we'll kind of just rip at the end of the show. Are the Bears going to draft an offensive lineman with the number 10 pick, or are they not? We'll talk about that. But quick reminder to subscribe to the channel. We are chasing 119,000 subscribers. We got videos every single day, all year long, throughout the offseason. Hit that sub button to support the program. Okay, ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller says that offensive line is not in play, in his eyes, for the Chicago Bears with the number 10 pick. Here's what he had to say. He hopped on 670 The Score today and said, quote, I would say offensive line is off the table at 10. There's no indications that they aren't Braxton Jones fans. I've actually talked to Ryan Poles about this super recently, or not super recently, he said, but we've had Braxton Jones conversations. I would probably take offensive line off your radar at number 10. He also mentioned Will Campbell's arm length issue. If they do want to get a left tackle, that's a very real thing that teams are going to consider. Look, I understand some of what he's saying, but I think there's a lot here you can dispute. Number one, when he said, I've had Braxton Jones conversations with him, but not recently. Well, has he had one with him since Braxton Jones had a major leg surgery? That's like new relevant information that could change the calculus of how things look. Also, as you just look at some reasons why you would consider O-line at 10, Ryan Poles himself said that you need competition at left tackle. Now, again, that doesn't have to be in the first round, but it can be. It absolutely could be, especially if it's the best player on the board. Like, what if they think Armand Mimbu can play left tackle and he's the highest player on your board? You're not going to take him? Like, I think you absolutely would consider that. Also, we just got to be real. With Braxton Jones' injury situation, you're going to need another player in there just in case that dips into the season. Hopefully it doesn't, but it could. And even if it doesn't, you need a long-term answer if Braxton isn't that guy. The offensive guards, we hope Joe Thuney signs an extension. I would expect him to, but as of now, he's on a one-year deal here. Jonah Jackson, as of now, you can get out of that deal next year if he doesn't play well this year. So, like, you could take a Will Campbell and plug him in at guard. And you just can't have enough guys up front. Guys go down. So my point is this. Matt Miller is right in the sense that they've addressed offensive line, and if Jones is healthy, their starting five is probably set for this year. That's absolutely true. But to act like taking an offensive lineman at number 10 isn't even in play is just simply incorrect. But to his point, and I'll meet him halfway here, and I've been preaching this all week, the Bears have done a hell of a job to address offensive line. Now you can just go best player available. If that's an offensive lineman, great. If it's Ashton Genty, awesome. It's Tyler Warren. As you look at a few names that I'm interested in, that's fantastic. If Mason Graham gets there, that would be a home run. If you want to trade down, you can do that as well. The point is the Bears have given themselves flexibility, but make no mistake, if there's an offensive lineman they love at number 10, they should absolutely heavily consider taking that player because you still need young, talented offensive linemen that you're developing to be long-term pieces. And if they think one of these, Mimbu, Campbell, even a Josh Simmons, whoever, can be a 10-year pro and a very good one, that's someone you would consider taking. Who will the Bears draft at number 10 overall? If you had to guess, who do you think the Bears will draft? Give us your guess in the comments of this video. Okay, Cooper Kupp has been officially released by the LA Rams. They held out hope that they could trade him, but that is not happening. He is now free to sign with other teams as he has been designated a post-June 1 cut by Los Angeles. Now, Dan Orlovsky mentioned a few teams, which I found pretty interesting. Excuse me, still battling some stuff here. He mentioned the Seahawks, Patriots, Titans, Bears, in the Pittsburgh Steelers as teams. I think teams like the Vikings would make sense. It's also been reported that the Packers are interested, so NFC North, watch out. Look, if the price is right, I'm in. I mean, if you can get him around that DeAndre Hopkins contract, $6 million, like, sign me up. He's a hell of a blocker. He's a team-first guy. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's lost a step. I mean, you can see the production and the injuries are real. The production decline, I should say. But I think he's the perfect number 3 receiver because he's still got enough juice to be a good complementary weapon, and he is a willing blocker. A willing blocker. And we know Ben Johnson values that. What's the phrase? No block, no rock. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson would love a guy like this, but it would come down to money. He's going to have a lot of suitors. If I would have to guess, I'd bet against it in terms of him signing with the Bears, but I'd at least make a call, see what that price tag looks like, and if it's reasonable, make an offer because I think he could help this football team quite a bit. Should the Bears sign Cooper Kupp? S for sign or P for pass? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. And before we get out of here, just a couple news items to rip through. Jack Sanborn is signing with the Cowboys, so he's following Matt Eberflus and Dave Borgonzi to Dallas. So he is officially gone. Wish him the best of luck. Still wish the Bears would have tendered him, but they clearly didn't view him as a scheme fit or whatever the case may be. Free agency is heating up with the quarterback market. Russell Wilson's going to meet with the Browns and the Giants. Does that signal Aaron Rodgers, our hated old rival, signing with the Steelers? Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that. So that's where things sit there. Free agency is heating up. Still things to go. We'll see what the Bears do next. Hit that subscribe button and bear down. All right.
Should the Bears sign Cooper Kupp?
Oh, wow. 2 years, $23 million for Ingram. That's a good amount of money, man.
Wow.
Grady Jarrett isn't lacking confidence. He says, my best days are ahead of me. He says, my best days are ahead of me.
Okay.
Let's go. Grady Jarrett fired up to be here. Good snippet I just tweeted out.
Make sure you follow Harry on
At
Twitter.
HGramNFL.
They're at the bottom of your screen. And, of course, this is back.
Jonah Jackson, when asked about moving to right guard, he said, my first start in the NFL was at right guard against the Chicago Bears. I think I'll do just fine. Let's go. I think it's easier to flip guard spots than it is tackle.
Mm.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Someone tweets, no disrespect to Montez Sweat or anyone else, but the Bears lacked leadership up front last year. Grady Jarrett is going to solve that problem. That's something I was talking about. I think they signed him, yes, because he can still play, but I think they think he can be the Joe Tooney of the defense, the defensive line in particular. Be the vocal guy. Be the guy everybody follows. Set the standard of how to be a pro every day. I think he's going to elevate people around him just with his habits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty exciting. Okay, when you're settled, I'm going to let you take over for a few minutes here. I got to make that call, and then I will be back here in a few. So appreciate it. Colin's going to hold down the fort.
I got you. Day 3. Sorry, guys. Just communicating with people behind the scenes. We're going to make sure we get that cut out for you guys. Bang, bang. All right. A lot of stuff going down here at the Chat Sports Studios. What up, Soldier Bear? Let's see. James Joseph. Yeah, that's a fair point. What is the cost? Like I think Harry said, like I wouldn't pay a huge amount for him, but it's a value. Let's see. Yeah, P for pass. We got some signs. That's fair. The only reason to draft Genty is because we have a good O-line, and that tells me he's not that good. That's not the only reason that you draft Genty. I mean, Genty's clearly the best running back in the draft class. Like, I haven't seen anybody with notable draft credibility say anybody, Amari and Hampton, Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, that they're better than Genty. And he does add a different dynamic. If the Bears don't make another offensive signing for the rest of free agency, Genty would do wonders behind this offensive line. But like with any running back, you do need an offensive line to help try to get the most out of them. So, if Connerly is at 39, would you have no option but draft him? He's an interesting player, man. I think he can go potential day or end of round 1. Maybe slide into day 2. It also depends on what you do at 10 or in the first round if you trade back. Appreciate you, Jimmy. Let's see. No, I mean, it wouldn't make him suck. Like, if the offensive line is bad, like, obviously, like, we saw it with Saquon, right? Like, Saquon clearly is a talented football player, but running behind the Giants' offensive line, whenever they couldn't figure things out, he wasn't at his full potential. He still ran for 1,000 yards. He still was one of the more productive backs in the league. I don't think anybody questioned. Now, he also dealt with injuries, too, but the second he got behind the Eagles, I mean, he completely transformed them. Same with Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry took that Baltimore offense to new heights. Joe Mixon, for crying out loud, was a positive effect on the Texans. I mean, FGB, but Josh Jacobs for the Packers. He was their offense at points this year. So, I don't think Genty drafting him at 10 is a bad decision at all. Just making sure I'm not missing any NFL news. Yeah, Evan Ingram was the last thing. I think Connerly will be a solid draft pick and a future starter at right or left guard. I think he's a tackle. I think he's got the length to play tackle. Obviously, like most people remember him for getting blown up by Mike Green during the Senior Bowl. To be fair, he also was voted as the most impressive offensive lineman that week. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to have your bad moments. I still think he's a starting tackle in the NFL. That's just my opinion. There we go. Cool. All right, just making sure that video's getting out for you guys. Jedi, what do you mean? What do you mean? Chris, I think Ty Felton would be a solid pick. He's the receiver out of Maryland. Correct? I don't know off the top of my head, but I believe that's who you're talking about. Yeah, he's kind of a skinnier frame. Let me pull up Ty Felton real quick. Yeah, receiver out of Maryland. Really good route runner. Yeah, kind of a slender frame, but I remember looking at this guy when I was doing kind of my wide receiver scouting a little bit. Wouldn't mind him. He's not a round 1 guy by any means, but you know, could potentially sneak into day 2. Could be a target round 3. What left tackles left in free agency? We could actually talk about that, believe it or not. I don't know if this list is updated yet, but let me just double check before I push it across screen. Let's get that. Okay, I believe this is updated. Apologies if not. Cam Robinson, Jedrick Wills. I don't expect Joe Noteboom as well. These are just some of the offensive linemen that are available. Those all could be options. Obviously, Tyron Smith at his advanced age. Zeitler's more of a guard, as we talked about. Yeah, so those first 4 minus Zeitler. I don't think the Bears would sign any one of these guys, but these would be the top guys available, in my opinion. There we go. Make sure y'all keep liking the video as we are continuing to break down this NFL free agency coverage here from a Bears perspective. Let's see what is different. There's 14 unknowns. Cody says, extend Gordon, sign Zeitler, and re-sign Pryor. I just don't think Zeitler's signing to be a backup. Could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Especially now that you've gotten your two guards of the future. You guys ready to make a deal? I'm kind of down to party today. Harry's feeling better. You guys want to do another discounted raffle? Little shot clock? Fair enough. Okay. There we go. All right. Bro, Ben Johnson is bringing in some dogs. Yeah. He's beefing up the trenches, man. You guys want to do a shot clock? You guys ready to do a little shot clock? $5 for a raffle ticket for the next 5 minutes. Who's down? Who is down? Who is down? There we go. There we go. Let's see. Where's Jarrett lining up? He'll be in the interior. I would imagine him and Javon Dexter, they would play together. Edward says, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here's the thing, and I'm seeing a lot of Genty comments in the chat. Genty's not by any means a perfect prospect, but he is somebody that the Bears will and should consider at 10. Now, is that including Venmo double? Yes. Let me get those in the chat as well. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go.
Like clockwork.
Like clockwork. I don't know. DK. Started a little shot clock here.
Okay.
Little discount. I put your Venmo in.
Okay. Let's see if I got anything
Yeah.
rolling through. I had to get a little appointment
Ooh.
booked.
Okay, so Darius Slay, his contract's official. It's 1 year fully guaranteed at $10 million.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That feels worthwhile. All right, get in on the raffle.
There we go.
50% off. I just got a Vinny from our guy Edward.
There you are.
All right, 3 minutes.
Did
3
get
minutes.
Trace.
3 minutes.
We'll get your super chat on screen here in just a moment.
All right.
There we go.
By the way, I listened to a couple minutes of Grady Jarrett. He's as advertised as a dude.
I can imagine.
Just a ball of energy. He's gonna. I tweeted this out. He is gonna elevate the defensive line just by his presence alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think him and Tooney bring that immediately.
Yep.
And I think they can both play. Tooney is still like at or near the top of his game. I think Jarrett has probably slipped a little, but he'll still be productive. But those guys, I'm not trying to get too excited. I'm trying to manage expectations, but they have not had guys like this who have been around the block like this at this level of player since Poles got here. Like I think it's been a shortcoming of Poles of like, oh, let's just go young and like they kind of tried it with Mercedes Lewis, but like he's not really much of a player anymore. That's almost like a Udonis Haslam where it's like, it's more valuable for a guy who's still playing at a high level, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oh, man. Oh, we got a Cash App. Cullen's been waiting to use that graphic.
It's a sick graphic, but we also got a Venmo from Edward Haney. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Edward.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, by the way, someone pointed this out in the chat. 869 votes. This is how you know it's a good poll question. 50-50 on Cooper Kupp.
Interesting.
50 freaking 50.
Fair enough. There we go. Here we go.
Oh, man.
There we go. Philip McNeil. Here's $10. Cash App. Appreciate you, brother. And then we did get some super chats rolling in as well. Okay, so they haven't loaded in yet.
So we got 45 seconds.
45 seconds. Let's go, let's go.
45 seconds.
Let's go, let's go.
Shout out to the real ones. Shout out to the real ones.
Shout out, man. Let's go. Dogs in the trenches. Yeah, man. They've invested.
Tone effing setters, dude.
They really have.
Tooney, Jarrett. They're going to set the tone, man.
Yeah.
Devin, we have pick 114. PFF Sim NFL article says we do. I don't think so, because I saw someone tweet out the Bears. Unless there's something I'm missing.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yep.
Pull up the simulator. Keep in mind, the simulators could take a little to update. As the clock is wound out, we'll see if any final ones trickle in here.
Mm-hmm.
It says 113 via Dallas in the simulator. What would Dallas owe the Bears?
A comp pick for something. I don't even know.
I'm missing. I think that's a mistake.
Yeah. BJ Hill on Trey Hendrickson. Trey wants to be in Cincinnati. I know that for a fact. It's not really news, but a quote came out.
Here's an article. Bears picks officially set. Let's see. Yeah. Biggs had it yesterday. No fourth-round pick. I think that's an error. You know what I'm guessing? I'm guessing the PFF made an error in their simulator, and whoever wrote that article probably just got it from the PFF mock. Like, oh, here are the picks. That would be my guess.
There we go. Little miscommunication happens.
Yeah. They don't have a fourth because they traded their fourth.
Mm-hmm.
And also the one via Dallas. I'm guessing oh, it goes to Carolina because Dallas traded a fourth for who's the receiver?
Oh, Mingo?
Yeah. I think that's Carolina's pick.
There you go.
Maybe PFF got confused and somehow thought it was still part of that Panthers trade or something, but yeah, that's probably what that is.
Fair enough.
Steve Roscoe, he got in.
Adam Downing, you got in, brother. Says, will Eber Flunk be a better DC than he was at HC?
Oh, we got
What in God's name is Jerry's plan? As a DC, I think,
I think he's fine.
Yeah, but it's as a head coach where he had a little trouble.
Here's the Eberflus. He's a great linebackers coach. He's a good DC. He's an awful head coach.
Yep.
So
fair enough.
He'll be fine. I don't think he's like one of the best DCs in the league, but he's probably top third. Like if you told me he's the 10th best DC in the league, I'd be like, yeah, I could probably buy that.
I could buy it.
I could buy that.
Fair enough. All right, moving on to Cornelius. Grady's personality reminds me of Akeem Hicks.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like that. I see a little Akeem there. Different players. Akeem was massive.
Yep.
But Grady wins with leverage and speed. But, yeah.
Yep.
Jay Browner. Bear down, baby.
FGB, we got your tickets in there, man.
You got your 4 tickets in there, brother. Appreciate you. We'll get a wheel spin for you as well.
Yes.
Well, a couple wheel spins.
That we do.
Rappaport still says that Steelers or Giants for Rodgers, but is Minnesota entering the fray? If the Brett Favre thing repeats itself, I mean, it's almost just weird.
Yeah.
Like, be your own guy, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, objectively, if Minnesota promised you the starting job, it's the best option. God, Rodgers back in the North. I don't know if I could do it. Do you guys want to play Rodgers twice next year? Y for yes, in for no. I'd love to beat his ass. Y for yes, in for no. Do you want Rodgers back in the North? God, I could do a whole video on that. Aaron Rodgers back in the NFC North. Cobra says, yes, we will belt to ass. I may have to do that. I may have to do a Seggy. All right. Saquads, did you see Grady say he will tell Jordan Love to pipe down? He knows that fan base already. So there was a clip from a Falcons-Packers game from last season where he was mic'd up, and there was a little scuffle after the game, and he said, you better pipe the hell down, talking about Jordan Love. Yeah, I love this guy already, man. I can't believe Atlanta let him go. He was like the heartbeat of that team. He's from Atlanta? Crazy.
Very crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. All right, we did get a Venmo in from Steve Roscoe. Shout out to you, brother.
That'll be a wheel spin, so we owe 2.
So we're at 2, and then we also got a $5 from Iggy.
Iggy!
Iggy.
Iggy, can't you see?
Dun,
Let's
dun,
go.
dun, 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 dun,
The world
dun.
is hypnotizing.
All right, let's do these wheel spins.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. How pumped up are we, man? How pumped up are we?
Excited, man. Give me a little Josh Reynolds. Give me a little
Give me
juice.
something.
A little juice.
Rappaport, Aaron Rodgers choosing between Steelers and Giants.
Do you think that's intentional timing, like to dismiss that Rossini report?
Maybe. We'll probably meet at a Dunkin' Donuts or something. Hash it out. I'd take Rossini, to be honest.
She's about as tall as Ian.
I was about to
I've
say.
seen them both in person. It's not much difference. Ian is very short.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a shot.
Why not?
I'm feeling like a deal.
Okay. What's your
Got
deal?
a little burst of energy here. We're at $180 in soups.
Okay.
Oh, why am I pouring this shot in here? Jesus.
If you want to take it that way, by all means.
Cheers. God. If we get to 300 in soups, I'm doing a boo.
Ooh.
That is 70% off. If we get to 300 in soups.
No fanatics, just discounts on boots.
Let's go.
I love it.
If we get to 300. We're at 180. If we get to 300,
We'll
do
see.
a boo.
I'll make a deal if people start, jumping in. I want to see what the waters are
See what
testing
the
like.
vibe is. See what the vibe is.
See what the vibe is. I'm 2-2. I'm 2-1. Is number 10 not getting better, or has it been coached?
Number 10. Why am I drawing a blank
I'm
on
not
who
sure.
number 10? Oh, Tyler Scott. I don't know. I want to see what Ben Johnson thinks of Tyler Scott, because I still think he can be a big play weapon. Now, I, at this point, no longer really view him as like when they drafted him, I was like, okay, I think he can be a good number 3 receiver. I don't know if I'm there anymore, but can he be a 4 that has home run hitting ability? I mean, he tracks the ball pretty well. He runs well. He averaged, I think it was like 50 yards per touchdown in college. Like, all his touchdowns were home runs. I don't know. Like, he's too good with the ball in his hands to just be a nothing player in the league. So I'll be interested to see if they can find a plan for him, find a role for him. Sub for Bears Dubs, baby. It is the off. Oh my goodness, DeMarcus Lawrence to Seattle.
Wow.
How about that? That's a great get for the Seahawks, man.
Ironically, D'Anthony Bell is meeting with the Seattle Seahawks as well.
How about that?
Interesting.
D-Law to Seattle.
Wow. Okay. Interested to see what the contract looks like, but okay.
That's interesting. He's kind of been the heartbeat of the Dallas defense for a while.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Need to see what the contract looks like.
Wow.
The Seahawks.
Was that on your radar at all as a Seahawks fan?
I mean, to be honest, I was really hoping they'd improve the interior of the offensive line, but, I can't hate with the trenches move, especially DeMarcus Lawrence. They've got a low-key kind of crowded edge room now, because obviously you have him, you have Leonard Williams, Boye Mafe. I mean, I don't
He's a
hate
smaller guy. He's smaller. Like, him and Leonard Williams are different
Yeah.
body types, so,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how he's deployed there.
Yeah.
He's never really, I don't know if he's ever played in a 3-4. I know McDonald's kind of multiple, but they do a lot of 3-man fronts, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Be interesting.
I don't know. Like I said, I need to see the details of the contract.
I bet it's a 1 or 2 year deal.
I'd imagine so.
Who's back of the week?
Who's back of the... Oh, my gosh, Jesus.
Who's back of the week?
Dude, this thing stinks. This thing
It
stinks.
stinks. That
Stink.
brother stinks.
All right, now do you not...
All right.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
There it is.
there we go. We're back. Who's back? Oh, we got a 20.
There we got a 20 from
If
Jay
someone
Brown.
boomed, we would be at 300, and I'd be drinking a boot.
There we go.
Boom for boot.
All right.
All right, Jay Browner, how likely do you think it is that we end up with one of the most difficult schedules in the league this year? Since last year we had quite a bit of teams that weren't the greatest. See, that's a misconception about last year, and that's really kind of a misleading thing about the schedule every year. And look, we'll react, and on paper it does look to be pretty tough based on the opponents because AFC North is the crossover division, not an easy division. But last year, when the schedule came out, heading into week 1, based on the prior year, the Bears had either the second or third easiest schedule based on opponent win percentage. You know what it ended up being? The second hardest schedule in the league. Now, part of that was the NFC North was just ridiculous. It had 2 14-win teams, an 11-win team. So that's six games right there. But you just don't know. I would expect the North isn't going to be that dominant this year. It's still going to be tough, but I don't think you're going to have 2 14-plus win teams in it. So
Whoa.
We'll see.
3-year deal up to $42 million. 18 guaranteed. Granted, that's the guarantee.
That's all that matters.
I know. Well, I saw the 42 first, so I'm.
Yeah.
Jeez.
To me, that's actually a pretty good deal because if he's there all 3 years, that means he's played well.
It's basically a 2 for 18, which I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I saw 42.
I mean, D-Law 2
Short
years
that
ago
chair.
was still a really, really good player, and last year he got hurt. So if he's healthy, I still think he's really good.
Wow. What say you, Cullen Tracker? Schneider's finally making moves, which is nice. Literally outside of the Sam Darnold move, they signed like a swing backup left tackle, or offensive tackle, I should say.
Would you go after Mekhi Becton?
Yeah. He's about the one guard on the offensive line market that I'm willing to pay over $10 million.
Yeah, because Tevin's too injury.
Yeah.
Would you take a flyer on him?
Yeah.
Like
I'd take a flyer on Tevin,
two for-
Zeitler.
two for like, like similar to the per year value of the James Daniels, like
Yeah.
80
so,
a year.
like, I'd go up to 8. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do, like, anything higher than that.
Yeah. Because when healthy, I mean, he's better than most of these guys I've gotten paid.
Oh!
Boom for boots.
Boot for boot.
Boom for boots.
Boots for boot.
I'll bring the boom, and then I will go fill up a boot.
That's fair. All right, you guys, I think the chat woke up. If we get to 500, do a little race ski.
You match me? All right.
Little 500 ski.
Get to 5. Colin will match me. I'm doing a boot no matter what.
Let's do it.
I'm doing a boot no matter what.
There we go. Wow. Because we've got Brian Berenstein. Boom!
He says, FGB, I want to crush discount double check twice a year. Retribution. Now I need a drink. So do you.
Let's
do you.
Let's go.
I'll wait and see if the people rally and get to 500, but if we get toward the end of the show and we don't, I'll fill up my boot and I will do it. But Colin wants a race, so if we get to 500, we will make it happen.
It's a race at a 50% discount.
Yeah, come on.
Let's do it. All right. We are booming here on Bears Now. Whew. Appreciate you, Brian. That also adds up his total. I think he's up to 2 booms now.
Let's go.
Believe so. Either way, we got you in there, brother.
Shout out to Brian.
Let's go. Let's go.
Shout out to Brian.
Boom. Yeah, Becton's the only card I'd pay, but it'll be interesting to see the rest of how free agency goes. Can we get a little juice?
Well, we just got a flurry of some stuff, the Russ stuff.
Yeah.
Some contracts.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take
DeMarcus
it.
Lawrence.
D-Law.
Yeah, I'm getting greedy, but I'm just like,
It's definitely day one is in the rearview mirror, brother. That is over.
that is way over.
We're 363 days away from that again.
Fair enough.
But we still got some nuggets to get to. Still got some nuggets to get to.
Whew.
All right.
We hit that sub button.
Hit that
if
sub
we get
button.
to 18,700, so 118,700, do a little free Berbongski.
Do a Bongski race. I'd be
Little
down.
Bongski?
67 away. I'm in.
Let's do it.
Bum of Wall Street sending in a 2-piece.
Wow.
Chargers signed Denzel Perriman.
Yeah.
I feel like he just – I'm probably wrong about this. I feel like he just rotates around the West Coast. Wasn't he with the Seahawks at one point?
Say the name again, sorry.
Denzel Perriman?
Perriman was not, I don't
I
believe
feel
so.
like he's played with all the West Coast teams. Let me see.
I don't think
I might be
he's played for
mixing.
Seattle.
I might be mixing him with someone else.
I don't believe so.
So he played with the San Diego Chargers.
Mm.
Or you know what? He just finds his way back to the Chargers. This is his third stint with the Chargers.
That makes more sense.
But he was with the Raiders as well.
Mm.
So he had one. He was with Houston last year. Other than that, he's been on the West Coast the whole time.
Fair.
But not quite as much movement as I thought.
On Wall Street says, I want the polar bear unis this year all white.
Let's go.
I will say this. I
Polar
think
bears would be sweet.
every NFL team, in my opinion, needs all white and all black unis.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd want an all black for the Bears, but an all white, the polar bear, that'd be sick.
All black with the orange?
A little Halloween. That
Yeah.
could be fun. That could be fun. I love this from Grady Jerry. He was asked how many teams reached out. He said the right team reached out, the Chicago Bears, baby. Let's go.
Great response.
I'm just going to watch his presser on loop tonight. Grady Jarrett's going to put me to sleep tonight, just like he puts opponents to sleep. Let's go.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Good enough.
Joe Tooney on Caleb Williams said he sent me a nice text after it happened. I told him I'm excited to play with him. Added, quote, he's been lucky to see how Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes operate with day-to-day, including doing the little things they don't want to do. So I think Tooney will challenge a guy like Caleb. Like, hey, I've played with the best to ever do it and the best going right now.
Yeah.
So I know what that looks like, both just on Sundays, but more importantly, during the week.
Yeah.
The offseason, the preparation.
Fair enough.
You're going to get more player-on-player accountability moving forward, I think, which is very important.
Very important.
Oh, okay. I'm down.
I got to run to the restroom real quick, but you want to maybe change this to maybe spice things up a little bit?
What are we changing it to?
Well, I was just saying the price, or if you're good with the price, you can do that too.
Okay, I'll come up with something. Push this across.
Okay.
How about this? Every 50 total, while Cullen is gone, is one beer bong. Every 50 total. So we just got a 2 from Dr. Doom. So if we get $200 total while he's gone, that's 4 beer bongs. If 500, that's 10. We're going to be in trouble if that happens, but we will find a way. Flanker says, Harry on Grady, put me to sleep tonight just like he puts his opponents to sleep. Was that kind of a bar, Flanker? Am I dropping bars? You like that one? Let's go. Let's go. I still think BPA, Genty. Let's get it. Let's get it. Merrick says, thoughts on drafting Xavier Watts from Notre Dame in the 3rd as a depth piece? I think he's a plug-and-play starter. Now, maybe here he wouldn't start right away. 3rd, he's a steal. I think he's probably a round 2 player. I think he's that good. I think he's that good. I think he's that good. Let's go. Ben will pick up a pound in ground running back. Anyone that thinks different. Oh, there's one. From Ruben. He'll get a helmet sticker, too. Mike Evans is wide receiver 3. He's on the Bucs. He's not a free agent. He's not a free agent. Not a free agent. Oh, man. Not a free agent. What else we got here? Will you be going to the draft this year? No, because why the hell would I want to go to Green Bay, Wisconsin? And 2, because we got to be live here for all 7 rounds, baby. That's why you subscribe. Yeah, I don't know where you're getting this Mike Evans idea from. He's under contract. Let's see. Jamar Chase. Yeah, let's get Jamar as wide receiver 3. Yeah, he's not better than DJ or Rome. Wide receiver 3, Jamar Chase. Maybe we can get him for like $8 million too, right? What else we got here? Should the Bears sign Nick Chubb? I'm not that interested. Maybe as a post-draft signing if he's still out there. If we draft Genty, we go 6-11. Why? If they draft anyone else, what's the record, Moon? Because if you say like a drastically different record, you're saying whoever they draft in the first round is going to dictate the wins by multiple wins this year. That's very unlikely. Maybe over the course of years. As my chat just froze on me. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. We got 150. Got a 50. Got a 50. Are you guys going to be live for draft night? All 7 rounds, baby. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, my God. The Cowboys are making another trade. Late round swap again for Kenneth Murray. Isn't he cooked? First round pick. They're trading for reclamation projects. I mean, this is just so Dallas.
They do things differently, man.
It's different, all right. Different's one way of putting it.
That it is, baby. All right.
Oh, man. All right, there's a 10.
There we go.
Looks like just one beer bong, which will go to Cullen. But
that will go to me.
We're also getting closer to 500, which could be a beer bong race. We're at 365.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
Dr. Doom. I got you, Doctor. I will catch up on IG messages tonight. Just yesterday I had all this going on. Free agency's a whirlwind. I will get back to everybody by the end of the week at the latest. I got you, man. Appreciate it. I got you. Marty K.
Being a dad, I mean, you got a lot of people you got to respond to.
Got a lot going on, man. Got a lot going on, but we will get it handled. Ruben.
Here's one on me.
There you go.
I got you.
Little mini boom. We'll get you
boom.
a helmet sticker once our stickers come in, Ruben. Let's
Shout
go.
out. And then we've got Barney. Says, think the Bears add a receiver in free agency, Elijah Moore, Devin Duvernay, bring Keenan back.
Duvernay's interesting because he's a pretty good returner. Earlier in his career, Baltimore utilized him in the offense, so that'd be interesting. Keenan, that price keeps coming down. I'm interested. Elijah Moore, I wouldn't mind a flyer there. He's talented. Let me see what Elijah Moore, what he's actually done production-wise. I mean, last year, in his last 2 years, he has 59 and 61 catches. 640 2 years ago, 538 last year. So, I mean, in 4 years, he has 200 catches. That's 50 per year. Over 2,100 yards. So that's over 500 yards per year. Like, that's a number 3 receiver. Like, can he block well enough? Is he cheap enough? You know, that's what I would be looking for, something like that.
Yeah.
Give me 500 yards, be a good blocker. That's plenty.
I will say someone asked in the chat, what's up with Drew Dolman? He's a Bear.
Grady Jarrett spoke highly of him. Obviously, they were teammates in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he said he called him a beast.
Beast. Beast. Fair enough.
Oh, man.
All right.
Tom Downey tweets, the Cowboys hoarding former first-round picks that haven't been very good who they liked around the NFL draft. Yeah, Jerry's like, I liked our draft notes on Kenneth Murray back in 2019. Let's get him on board.
Fair enough.
So they're going to go with the off-ball linebacker unit of Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray. I like Sanborn, by the way, but if he's your number 1 or 2,
yeah.
I guess what's his name not going to be back this year? Who's the Texas linebacker that had the catastrophic injury?
Overshawn.
It's a pretty bad injury. Maybe
Yeah.
he's not going to be back this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenneth Murray putting the star on his helmet.
Yeah. Denzel Perryman, the lifelong Charger.
Yep, San Diego, L.A. If they move again, which they probably should go back to San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence and to Seattle. I think this is the biggest deal since the Evan Ingram deal. But yeah, 342, $18 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Pretty much covers up the last little bit. Fair enough.
Let's go.
All right, we got another super chat coming in from Devin Hester. He says,
how about this? Former Bears running back Khalil Herbert to the Colts.
To the Colts.
I don't mind that fit behind J-Tay.
Yeah, a little
probably get some
deal.
run there because they got to run. Hey, triple option, baby.
Seems he's got a term for the kind of football they'll be playing in Indianapolis. We'd have to bleep it out.
FU football, baby.
Absolutely. Honestly, it'd be so sick if the triple
I'd love to see a team. So what we're talking about is myself, Patrick Seatman, our Vikings host. We have this thing where we think, do I 100% think they should do this? Obviously not, but from an entertainment standpoint, I'd love to see it. I would love to see the Colts just run the triple option with Anthony Richardson. You got Jonathan Taylor. Just run the triple option. I think to start a season, opposing defenses would be in shambles going up against it. Now, it's the NFL. Teams would adjust. It wouldn't work long term. But I think in September, they would just wear teams out. You're going to have to tackle 250-pound Anthony Richardson 15 times a game.
Good luck.
Be fun. Trade for Joe Milton. You can rotate quarterbacks.
There we go.
Let's go, baby.
Draft Jalen Milroe. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I was saying, put Justin Fields in that rotation. He's obviously with the Jets now. Taysom Hill.
Yeah, there we go.
Get him on board.
Honestly, Taysom Hill would be the ultimate weapon.
Oh, you could play him at quarterback. You could put him at the fullback spot. You could have him be the flanker.
Tight end.
You can do it all, baby.
Do it all.
Onions. Oh, here we go. Albert Breer. Minnesota is still discussing where they go at quarterback in adding to J.J. McCarthy in the room. The Vikings made an offer to Daniel Jones that was competitive with Indy, so like $14, $50 million. Obviously, if they decide to pursue Aaron Rodgers, they'd have a great situation to offer him. I don't know if they feel great about J.J. I don't know if they feel great about – I'm going to have to do a Vikings video, I think, where like – I don't know. There's just too many tea leaves. Like there's something going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just don't want to roll him out there because he hasn't played yet or if they don't like where he's at.
Maybe you do like an NFC North takeaways video post free agency.
I have to.
Would you guys want to see that video?
Should I talk about a Rodgers to Minnesota with the McCarthy stuff going on? Should I?
Why for yes and for no?
What if I did like a headline? This NFC North news is fascinating for the Chicago Bears.
Fascinating.
All right. Because that QB situation impacts the Bears greatly. Greatly. Rolly's neck beard says, Cullen's got to be the most improved player for Chat Sports. You know, he improves not 1% each day, 10% each day. He's goated, baby.
Shout out.
He's goated, baby.
I am a direct product of my teammates around me.
Hey,
so
teamwork makes the dream work here, baby.
That it is.
Let's go.
Which, by the way, shout out to you guys. I'm going to give you all a little flex. So,
tell the Vikings to sign Josh Rosen. Minnesota, you heard the man.
So, again, I haven't been here at Chat Sports as long, so Harry can speak more to this history. But Bears now has a current record that's ongoing still, right? With the videos that have gone out.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the exact number, but we're at like I think we're over 200 videos plus in a row that at least have gotten 10,000 views. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
That's a company record, baby.
So you guys really are the real MVP. Ooh, little Kevin Zeitler to the Titans. 1 for 9.
Man, that's a weird way to end your career if that's his last year.
Tennessee is where careers go to die.
You're going to go to Tennessee?
I know, like, there was a joke made. Like, when has a player ever gone to Tennessee late in their career and actually been successful? Can someone answer that question for me? Because I can't think of one. Flanker says, gotta admit, was upset when Rolly left, but Cullen has grown on me like the neckbeard on him. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's the best chat of the day.
Chat of the day, baby.
That is the best chat of the day. I know.
Cullen's been an awesome fit, man. He's been fantastic.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully he's here for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. I don't see myself going anywhere.
That's the hope.
Ryan Tannehill only from Say Quads, and even then it was like he had 1 year where obviously they were the 1 seed. But
yeah, Zeitler to Tennessee, we see it.
Yeah.
We see it.
Neckbeard is a requirement.
I think Zeitler would have for sure been a Bear had they not traded for both Jackson and Tooney. Because I think that is more of the money they would have wanted to pay than, like, the Will Fries money.
Yeah. These relationships that players have with coaches, like, it's serious, man.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Like, we see it all the time.
Yep.
So, like, when the Bears made those 2 trades, Zyler in the back of his head's thinking, like, where do I go?
He's like, does Detroit want me back? If not,
Yeah.
yep,
Fair enough.
we'll see ya.
All right. Got the question on
Have
screen?
fun in at least it's Nashville.
Yeah.
Fun city.
That's true.
Something.
No state income tax either.
Yep.
All right. Name the next person that should be signed by the Chicago Bears.
Who we
We'll
getting?
talk about it.
Who we getting? Who we getting?
There we go. Let's see. Get him down below. Kupp from TJ. Joshua Dobbs. Unfortunately, Dobbs is no longer on the market. NFL prods.
Yeah, he's a Patriot. He
Matt
is
Pryor.
a Patriot.
Keenan Allen. So a couple of re-signing options.
I'd feel pretty good about the O-line situation heading into the draft if Matt Pryor came back. Like, I already feel pretty good about it, but, like, Pryor gives you a pretty steady backup.
Yeah.
Like, don't you, like, that just elevates, like, the floor of the line. Like, if you, because he can play either tackle or guard spot. So, like, he kind of just becomes your 6th offensive lineman. Guy goes down, he plugs in.
Yeah. Devin, sorry. He says we missed this. So he says Elijah Moore is not getting talked about enough, dog. I think
Honestly, his numbers, I pulled him up, 200 catches, over 2,100 yards in 4 years. That's a little more than I would have thought. Would you have guessed he had that much volume?
he kind of really, like, he kind of was in a crowded room, obviously, when he was in, before Cleveland.
The Jets.
The Jets, thank you.
But even in New York, he hit 43 for 538, 37 for 446. It's not like he did nothing there.
Yeah. I think he's a solid player, man.
I mean,
Don't
he
hate
kind of, his production is like, screams wide receiver 3.
Yes. 100%.
Now, do they view him as a good enough dirty work guy? I mean, he's 5'10", 185. Like, is he going to block the way they want to? I don't know. Productive player.
Productive.
Ran a 4.35 in the 40 back in the Dizay.
Yeah.
He's got some speed, got some juice. Got some juice.
All right.
Someone in the chat, Kyle Juszczyk, Scattaboo at 10.
Scatterboo.
I'll crash out if they take Scattaboo at 10.
That would be an all-timer.
I would crash out.
That'd be like
Scattaboo at 10.
the team taking Michael Penix at 8 last year when they signed Kirk Cousins to.
This would be significantly worse, just in terms of.
It would be.
Like, to me, Penix was worth the first-round pick at least.
I
like Scattaboo. I get it. It comes off like I don't. I do like him. But 10?
10 would be
a
reach.
The crash out would be historic.
It would be worse.
The crash out would be historic.
Joe Flacco to back up. Brandon Ayuk with the Bears. That'd be funny.
No, not trading for Ayuk. He tore his ACL, MCL, and multiple ligaments.
Right.
There's a reason the Niners are apparently at least open to calls because they don't like that contract, and he's coming off a major injury.
Yeah. All right. I feel like we got to talk about our friends.
We do.
What do you want to do coming out of that? I want to do something.
We'll cook something up.
You want to do like another mock draft, maybe? Another live mock?
Yeah. Why for yes and for no? Here, I'll put a new poll out. Why for yes and for no? Do you want a new live mock draft?
I'm going to have to build it behind the scenes again because I accidentally deleted those.
Those layers?
Yeah, well, the computer was being slow this morning, so I had to get rid of some stuff.
That's
But
okay.
I'll build it on the fly again, and we can do it. If you guys are down, do another mock draft?
Y'all in? I'd be down.
You'll vote on the poll, and we have to get, like we did for the picks, you have to get a minimum of 200 votes. Minimum. If we don't have 200 votes, I don't care what the results are. We're not even going to consider it.
Let's go.
Coming out of the ad read here.
Let's go. All right. We'll talk about our friends, our partners, our sponsor. That, of course, is PrizePicks. The best, really the only that you should consider, daily fantasy sports app that exists. Download today. Get signed up. Create an account. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. What is that going to do for you? Well, if you're a new customer, once you sign up, set your first $5 lineup, you're going to get an additional $50 for free. Boom, just like that, into your account, $50 of free play to set more lineups with. Because listen, anytime you try a new game, whatever, it's like anything in life. Anytime you try something for the first time, you'd like to have a do-over, a second try. Well, you could have several second chances with that extra $50. Listen, I've been playing season-long fantasy forever, but daily's really the way to go nowadays because you can pick new players, you can do different sports, you can set lineups with players from different sports. It's just a lot more fun. Get started today at PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS, like I mentioned, to get that bonus once you play for just $5. I got a little 2-player entry, which is the minimum 2 players of two or more different teams. I got Anthony Edwards' little discount. They're doing a delayed Taco Tuesday today for some reason. Sometimes you get random little deals, too. It's awesome. Take the more on his points, 22.5. And then Quentin Grimes, more on his 19.5 points. He's been cooking for Philly as of late. $10 entry for me to win 33 extra money on a 2-player entry like that. You can win up to 1,000x your money sometimes. Yes, you can turn $10 into 10,000 with certain lineups on PrizePicks. What are you waiting for? Get in on all of the action. Play your game today with PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS today. Okay. Who should the Bears sign next?
Well, did we get 200 votes? That's the question. Oh.
171.
You still do it if we get 200 votes. We are 26 now away.
We are 26
6 votes away.
There are 26 votes away.
I mean, like I said, we don't have to. I can chill, talk about something else if y'all don't want to.
Juan Thornhill visiting the 49ers.
Yeah, the Jets also signed a Chukwuma Okorafor.
Chuka, he's basically a swing tackle.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Things are heating up, folks.
They're getting spicy. Caleb Saved Us says, gun to your head, who are you taking at 10?
Gun to my head, Ashton Genty.
Really? So you're
Yep.
fully on the Genty train. Okay.
I mean, in a gun to my head scenario,
Gun to
like,
head,
if
yeah.
I'm going to have to put a lot more thought into it, but like.
Just right now.
But it's hard to answer because, like, Genty may not be there. Who's there? Like, if you can tell me who's there, I could put more thought into it. But, like, if just the name for a guy that could be there, yeah, Bears need a running back. I know at worst he's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of the nice thing if you go running back. I know everybody's like, positional value, it's great. Well, it's also way less misses, especially high in the draft. Like, worst case, Ashton Genty's probably like a solid pro. Best case, he's a big-time player.
Yep.
So, like, that's why the risk is mitigated for me, and you need a player at that position, in my opinion. So that would probably be my pick right now.
Fair enough.
Devin Hester.
Oh, no, that was
Oh, we already got that one.
Yeah.
We already got that one. Talking about Elijah Moore.
Talking about Elijah Moore, baby.
It's not hard. You don't waste a pick on Genty. Okay, who are you picking then, Moon? I can't remember. I don't know if you ever told me earlier.
Jets pretty divided on
You
Genty.
And that's fine, but he literally said they're going to go 6-11 if they take Genty, and I said, well, if they pick someone else, does that mean they're going to go 10-7? Because if you think one pick in the draft is going to vary your win total, really by even one, as a rookie, that's pretty unrealistic. Like, I don't think if you take Genty versus Armand Mimbu, you're 6 wins versus 10. It just,
Yeah.
I don't think that's just not the case.
Okay, we did get to 200 votes.
250.
Okay. All right,
Moon
so
says it's a factual argument.
set this up in the background.
How is it factual? You haven't even, it wouldn't have even played out. It's impossible for it to be factual. Taking Armand is a more important position. I agree. Where's he playing? Is he starting this year? Do you know for sure he could play left tackle? Is he a backup? Where's he playing? And I like Mimbu. He would, if you told me he could play left tackle, I would maybe even agree with you. But without knowing that information, gun to my head, I'd say Genty. I think Genty's one of the 5 best players in this draft. I get it's a running back, but is Jinty to the Raiders a home run? I don't think so. I've talked to our Raiders guy. He actually doesn't think it'll happen. I think it's in play, but if Mason Graham is at 10 along with Jinty, who do you take? Probably Mason Graham. Probably Mason Graham. I would probably take Mason Graham. Jinty is a game changer. I think he's got that ability. I think he could change how defenses defend your offense. Trade down, take Josh Simmons, running back in round 2. Another good option, Sam. Booker in the second round to replace Jones. He's not a Jones. Booker can only play guard. He can't play tackle. He's not athletic enough. Not athletic enough. Mimbu's RAS score was only achieved by Trent Williams, and worse, he can play left tackle for sure. I tend to agree that he can play left tackle, but I don't know how the Bears view that. So I think he can. I also, I'll be real, guys, I don't think Mimbu's available at 10. Like, if you ask me right now, is Armand Mimbu available at 10, I'd say I doubt it. I'd say I doubt it. Here, you can take me off preview screen if you need, so you can see better. Jahad Campbell, love the player. I get linebacker long term might be a question, but I can't. Unless you think he's like a future All-Pro, I can't take him at 10. You have your 2 starters. I don't love Tremaine Edmonds either, but I think you're kind of just stuck with him this year. You kind of just got to hope that it works out. And then if it doesn't, you cut him, and next year a linebacker becomes one of your top priorities, whether it's in free agency or the draft. That, it's cyclical. Every offseason, a position becomes a priority. Yeah, it looks like you just got to move up my background. You'll be good. Swift going off this year. I think Swift in this offense can do well. I just think you pair him with somebody. Mimbu's a right tackle for me. It's a right clone. Can't see right in the left side. I'm not moving Darnell right. I think Mimbu has the traits to play left tackle. He's a little shorter, but still over 6'4". I think the athleticism and arm length checks enough of the boxes where I think he could play the left side. Chats agree with veteran corner Isaiah Oliver. Didn't the Vikings sign him, or was that different Isaiah? Isaiah Rodgers, it was. Different Isaiah. All right, Cullen is working on getting the mock draft graphics set up, and then we will do that. Then we'll see after that. Okay, we got a super chat rolling in. Got a couple rolling in. We got the expert. Is there anyone you would trade up to get? If Abdul Carter got to like 6 or later, I'd at least start poking around. What would it cost you to get up to the Raiders at 6, to the Jets at 7 if he was there? I would poke around, but I'm not doing it in the top 3 or 4, even probably top 5, because I'm not giving up a future first. There's no one in this draft that I would give up a future first for, I don't think. So, but if you traded up to 6 for Carter, gave up 10, one of your 2s this year, and maybe like a day 2 pick next year, I would think about it. But that's kind of just where I sit right now on that front. You guys let me know. Would you trade up for anyone? Is there anyone you would trade up for? I'm probably a no unless Carter slides. All right, we got another one here. Jess, take best defensive lineman, Jinty, Warren, or trade down. This tackle class next year looks phenomenal. I don't like the options of only Mimbu or Simmons. Yeah, I mean, it's a BPA situation. I think the only D lineman at 10, for me, that would be potentially the best player on my board. Things could change, but right now would be Abdul Carter, who there's almost no chance he falls to 10. Mason Graham, small chance he falls to 10. Any other defensive lineman, I don't view as someone I would want to take at 10 currently. Maybe something changes in the pre-draft process. I just think there's other guys that chances are at least one or two of them will be there that I would rather take. Like, if you're asking me, Tyler Warren or any of the edges after Abdul Carter, I'm taking Tyler Warren. I just think he's a better football player. I think Tyler Warren is better. Like, Mike Green is the one guy, but he's 8th percentile in arm length. We know Dennis Allen factors that in big time. He wants big edge rushers. That's why they signed Dio Adengbu. He's 6'6", 285 with like 35-inch arms. Mike Green has 32-inch arms. Now Mason Graham has shorter arms, but I think he's uniquely gifted, which could actually be a benefit because he might actually slide to 10 because of that. He'd be an exception. I don't think at edge they would draft Mike Green at 10. Maybe in a trade down or something, but yeah. Mykel Williams, 10's too rich. Shamar Stewart, 10's too rich. Like, I just, the edges, it's a good group, but it's not other than Carter, it's not a surefire go take him in the top 5, top 10, in my opinion. I think there's other guys that are better.
Agreed. Caleb saved us, says, need to keep investing in the trenches, way too old.
Yeah, I'm not saying stop investing in the trenches. I'm saying they've done enough where they can go BPA. If best player is a trenches player, awesome. If not, go elsewhere. See what they do.
All right. We got one more from William, and I think, if you guys are okay with it, we'll get into a little mock draft.
Live mock, all right.
By
the way, we're at 379 in supers. If we get to 500, we'll do a boot race. If not, I'm going solo, baby.
Going solo.
If someone brings the boom, we'll basically be there.
We're basically there.
Brian brought the boom earlier.
William, would you trade for Tyreek Hill?
No.
Agreed.
And that comes from someone who loves Tyreek Hill as a player, but no. He's 30. Contract is hefty. It would cost a lot in draft capital. I'm not investing big in another receiver, at least for probably a year or two. So.
Do you want to get this one, or do you want to jump in? There's one more.
We can hop this one real quick.
Okay, cool.
Devon.
So we'll get you on screen in a second. He says, really hoping Genty gets to 10. Truly feel like he could be a huge game changer for us under Ben.
That's another thing, too. Part of it is the head coach you brought in. Like, he just did this with Detroit. Like a two-back system with different skill sets. And guess what? They took one of those running backs at number 12 and got ridiculed for it, and it's worked out pretty well. If you feel strongly about this guy, you take the player. You pair him with Swift. You go to war. Let's go.
No, I mean, absolutely. And again, we were talking about, we've said this multiple times, I'll keep reiterating it. Derrick Henry added to Baltimore's offense. Saquon Barkley was the engine behind really Philly's offense. Josh Jacobs, FGB, was pretty much Green Bay's offense at one point.
I mean, call me crazy. I know it was a unique situation. What is Philly this year with just like insert solid NFL running back? Like DeAndre Swift still. Like, what are they more of what they were the year before? Now I think they would have been better because they just crashed out that season. The coordinators didn't do a good job, but like, I don't think they get to the Super Bowl without Saquon. Now in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs did a good job of containing him, but his presence was still felt because the Chiefs took such a focus of slowing him down that he got a lot of man coverage, and Jalen Hurts made the throws, and the rest is history. But I don't think they're in the Super Bowl without Saquon. I don't think they beat the Rams without Saquon, because think about that late long run they had. That ended up being huge because the Rams scored, then got the ball back and were driving to score again. Like that long run late in the game to put them up 2 scores ended up being massive because Stafford got hot and just kind of ran out of time. So, I don't think Genty is Saquon, to be clear. But I do think he's in that realm of prospect of a Bijan Robinson, of a, I think he can be a Jonathan Taylor caliber player and more effective as a pass catcher, by the way. Like, I think he can be a top 5 running back at some point in the NFL, for sure top 10. If you want to say that's still a reach at 10, okay, fine. But, like, I'm just telling you, Swift and Roschon Johnson, to me, that's not cutting it. Like, Roschon needs to be your third back. Dirty work on special teams, short yardage. He can protect. He can do a little bit of everything. But, like, that's not a guy I'm giving double-digit touches to. Like, he's not a 1-2 punch guy. Like, to me, he's your third back.
Agreed.
Now, the beauty is it's not like it's Ginty or Bush. You can get someone on day 2. So
There you go.
okay, let's do the mock draft.
Does this look good before
Yep.
I push it? Cool.
All right. You want to drag that bar, the public versus PFF,
Oh, yeah.
just a little bit.
We'll go about right here.
One less. Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
All right, here we go. Live mock draft time for the Bears. All right, let's start. We're not trading up.
All right.
Oh, Ginty's there this time.
He is. Let's just go through the draft. Travis Hunter, they're at the first overall pick for the Tennessee Titans. Mason Graham goes to the Browns. Maybe that's Russell Wilson signing there. Who knows? Abdul Carter to the Giants.
No QBs in the top 3.
Wow. Will Campbell 4. Tedero McMillan 5. Jahdae Barron at 6. Jahad Campbell at 7. Armand Mimbu at 8. And Tyler Warren at 9. So no Cam Ward at all.
How does this is my problem with the simulators sometimes is like I get it if Cam Ward's like 15th on PFF's big board, like that's fine, but like how do you not teach the simulator like, hey, no matter what, Cam Ward goes in the top 3 picks in every simulation. Like it's just he's not going to get outside the top 3.
I digress. All right. Do you want to put?
All right, who's
how about
available?
this?
Ginty or trade down?
Ginty or trade? Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna even say there's not even another prospect. I'll show the other ones just for argument's sake. Ginty, Malachi Starks, James Pierce, Mike Green, Will Johnson, Luther Burden, Donovan Ezeraku, Kenneth Grant, Josh Simmons, Emeka Ibuka, Kelvin Banks. Cam Ward's are 21st ranked, by the way. Which again, if you want to say
Which is
that,
fine, but like he's by far the best quarterback, so he's going to go top 3, top 5, probably number 1, honestly.
Yep.
Who's offering trades?
11 trades. We've got the Cowboys
At
We've got
12,
the Colts
14,
at 14, Atlanta Falcons
15.
at 15.
That's what we did yesterday.
Yeah, 16 is the Arizona Cardinals. 21 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. 24, Minnesota Vikings. 27, Ravens. 29, Washington Commanders. And then we get into the second round, which I don't think we're doing that. So,
No.
which based on the poll, looks like the
60-40 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Need more votes.
need more votes.
We'll do
though.
150 today.
Yeah. You guys wanted this? We got you.
150.
150. 150.
Need more votes.
Benjamin St. Juice, 1-year deal with the Chargers. He stinks.
He was bad last year.
He stinks.
That brother.
I felt so bad. I was talking with Marshall because the Giants signed like a former Seahawks swing tackle, and I was like, yeah, he kind of stinks. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, do you have anything positive to say about him? And I just said he's big. Like legit, he was like 6'9".
What's his name? Stone Forsythe. I remember him coming out. He's super tall.
Yeah, super big, but he's just. I'd be shocked if he makes the roster. But, yeah, 150. Okay, so we're at 192, and the pick is a pick, and it is Ashton Ginty.
Ashton Ginty.
Makes sense. We traded down last time, so we might as well go with Ashton Ginty and see where the rest of the board falls, right?
Say what?
I just said it makes sense because we traded yesterday, so it makes sense to, actually draft and
Especially
see where this goes.
with how it fell.
All right.
Okay.
Ginty is the pick.
The pick is in.
Again, we'll kind of go over all the picks just for the first round. We're not going to do this for every round, but just to kind of show you where everyone fell. Mike Green went to the 49ers at 11. Donovan Ezeraku, the edge out of Boston College, with 12. Josh Simmons went to the Dolphins. Will Johnson of the Colts. Malachi Starks to the Falcons. Kenneth Grant went to the Cardinals. Emeka Ibuka goes to the Bengals. James Pierce goes to Seattle. Luther Burden to Tampa Bay. Michael Williams to Denver. Cam Ward finally goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sperry would be over the moon if Cam Ward somehow fell to 21.
I mean, that is so silly that that's even possible in this. I mean, did Cam Ward commit murder before this mock draft?
Matthew Golden 22 to the Chargers. Shamar Stewart to the FGB Packers. Derek Harmon to the Vikings. Walter Nolan to the Texans. Jalen Walker to the Rams. Omarion Hampton to the Ravens. We got Nick Wari, the talented safety out of South Carolina, to the Lions. Kelvin Banks to the Commanders. Darius Alexander to the Bills. Colson Loveland to the Chiefs. Nick Scorton to the Eagles. Josh Connerly to the Browns at pick 33. Maxwell Hairston at 34 to the Giants. Tyreek Williams to the Titans. Tyler Booker, Gray Zabel, and Jack Besh. I think it's the second mock in a row where Jack Besh goes to the Patriots at 38. Interesting. And now the Bears 39. All right, some names on the board. Or what positions do you want to highlight?
TJ Sanders, like that one.
Yeah, TJ Sanders is an interesting pick. Demetrius Knight, if they want to go linebacker. Xavier Watts. We took him yesterday. Could be an option. Trey Amos. Landon Jackson. Siobhan Ravel. Princely Uman Maleen. Shamar Turner. Shador Sanders. Alfred Collins. Braden Swinson. Jaden Higgins. Cam Scattaboo. That'll be a popular name.
What's the offensive line looking like?
Let's see. Tackle, we got Ursery, Jackson, Cam Williams, Ozzie Trapillo,
Donovan Jackson in here.
Yeah.
All right. I just got picks. TJ Sanders, Xavier Watts, Landon Jackson, Donovan Jackson.
We only got one trade offer, and it's from the Miami Dolphins at pick 48.
Don't hate that. Trade down 39 to 48. We could trade. You guys want to trade?
You guys want to trade? If we get enough trades in the chat, we could maybe kind of switch things up here. We'll see. Jonathan Jones signing with the Commanders.
Yep.
Here, I can get the ticker going down at the bottom while we do this.
Yep. A lot of trades coming in. Y'all want to trade? Let's explore a trade.
Yeah.
Let's explore. So I'll pull up the draft chart again. Draft value chart. Yeah. So 39 to 48. So 39 is worth 153. 48 is 121. So you're probably looking at like adding like a 4th round pick. So like 115. 48 and 115 for 39. Maybe you get a third out of it. What does 48 and 98 look like?
98%.
Yeah. Sometimes PFF is a little generous on those.
Mm-hmm. We've got honestly, this is a close poll. We got 32% saying Donovan Jackson, 30% saying Landon Jackson. Battle of the Jacksons.
We could pick here, and then we could explore trading 41. You want to do that?
Yeah, it's neck and neck between.
How about this? So Donovan Jackson. How about this? New poll. I'm going to go Landon Jackson, Donovan Jackson, or trade down.
I like it. We'll do a new poll. Because y'all were literally 32% basically the same with those two. Or, yeah.
All right. New poll. Landon Jackson, Donovan Jackson, trade down.
A vote. Poll is up. Let us know.
Someone says get Jackson. Nice. Close again. Trade down, the slight lead. All three are over 30. Oh, here comes Landon. Here comes trade.
Dude,
we'll go to 200. We'll go to 200 votes this time. We'll go to 200 votes.
200 votes.
This is a battle.
Dude. 65. Okay, 65 more votes.
I'm going to have to be like eagle eye on here because
yeah.
I have to know exactly who's in the lead.
Well, it's Landon Jackson or trade down or like the slight favorites.
I'll tell you what, $20 super chat and someone can be the tiebreaker.
Yeah, there you go.
All three are close. So if someone wants to send in 20 and they make the call,
yeah,
you can do that because it is that close with all three.
You're
talking about a couple votes.
Yeah, we got about 25 more votes left remaining.
Oh man, man, oh man.
Ooh, if you're supporting Donovan Jackson, make sure you vote.
Here we go.
He is distant third right now, but it is between Landon Jackson or trade down.
Oh my God, it's literally.
Dude, look, I've never seen it like this.
This is crazy. trade down has, I think, a couple vote lead.
We got
now.
10 more votes.
10 votes to go.
10 votes.
Are you stuffing the ballots?
We need to check birth certificates. Jokes. All right, 200.
Oh.
It's tied.
So it highlights Landon Jackson. It looks like Landon Jackson's the answer.
Okay, we're at 210 and it's at Landon.
Yeah, Landon Jackson.
Okay.
All right.
So we will take the man out of Arkansas, to alopecia. Jaden Higgins goes to the Saints.
All right, how many trades do we got here?
1. And it's with the Cowboys 3 slots down.
We did that yesterday, too.
Yeah, we did trade from this. I feel like we got to take a pick here.
Yeah, we got to pick.
We got to
We're
pick.
picking.
So, TJ Sanders.
Sanders still there. Is
Xavier Watson.
Donovan Jackson still there, right?
Yep.
All right, hey, Donovan Jackson. Are we all in agreement?
I think Donovan might
Yeah,
be.
let's just go Donovan.
Yeah. Where's good old Donovan?
I don't know why PFF tanked him all of a sudden.
68th.
If he was there at 72, we would be partying. We're on Bears now.
And the pick, Donovan Jackson.
And
And at 72. All right.
Oh, Mason Taylor. Good guy.
Hey, a couple of Cullen's crushers right here. Hey, Jordan Birch and Mason Taylor. We got Ozzie Trapillo. We got Chris Paul Jr., Terrence Ferguson, T-Ferg. I'm not going to lie, like, T-Ferg might have to be.
Do you like him over Mason Taylor, though?
It's tough. Because I think Mason Taylor is like a true, like, balanced tight end that is going to succeed in a lot of schemes.
Ursary just went.
Yeah, Ariante Ursary,
That's a
Caleb
dude.
Johnson went, Cameron Williams.
What's defensive tackle looking like?
Defensive tackle?
Joshua Farmer.
Let's see. Yeah, Farmer, Phillips, Deion Walker, C.J. West. Let's see. Let's just look our picks. So we got Genty, obviously.
Running back, edge, first O lineman.
Yeah. So maybe receiver, tight end.
Yeah, what's receiver looking like?
All right, receiver. Ooh.
Noel still there?
This is not realistic. I don't think he'll.
I'm putting him on here.
You should put him on here.
Someone always
like we'll
sides.
take advantage of it. He will not be here. Savion Williams, your guy out of TCU.
What about safety?
Let's see. We got safety here. Castro, our guy Cobra's.
They seem to like
cousin.
Castro. I'm going to put him on here.
Okay.
Just see.
Makuba's
All right.
on there too.
I got Mason Taylor, Joshua Farmer, Sebastian Castro, Jalen Noel.
Okay.
There seems to be a Castro hive on Bears now.
Wouldn't hate it.
I would go Noel or Taylor here, I think.
Yeah. There is no trade options, by the way.
Yeah, we're not trading.
Yeah, I think this may be a no trade mock. Oh, so it's a 10. I thought we got a 20. Harrison, would you give up the 4th round pick for Mayer from the Raiders? I don't think I'd give up
They
the
don't have a
4th for
4th.
Mayer. Well,
This year or next year.
yeah, there you go.
I'd give up my 5, I think.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
I give up a 5.
I mean, this guy went 35 2 drafts ago. I would
Yeah.
trade a 5th round pick.
Worst case scenario, he's a tight end 2 like he is now.
Yeah, like
Which you're
I
hoping
got
you
worth
draft.
2 years of that for a 5th round pick. I'll take that.
Agreed. Again, we'll flash those supers after this, guys. We just can't with this setup. The chat agrees with me. Mason Taylor, baby.
Mason Taylor.
Onions.
Onions.
I really do like him. I think Ferg is
Click on him. Does it have his PFF block grade on there? Run block?
Yeah. So
Not
59.
bad. It's above average.
Yeah, like he's a willing blocker. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a true anchor standing in the pants. Like he's not gonna move off an edge, but he needs to work on his technique. But I think him as a weapon, because if you look at his inline and slot snaps right here, they're basically dead even. Like he's
Yeah.
almost as much of a receiver as he is a blocker.
Go to first look. What are his measurables? I don't know if this
6'5", 255.
Let's see what the combine had him at. That could be updated post combine, but let's see. They measured him at 6'5", 251. So
Yeah.
right around there. All right.
If he gets stronger, again, he could be more versatile. That's, I think, what he needs to do if he wants to become that kind of tight end. Not going to do much after running after the catch, but he is a very fluid tight end that I think will get open again against a lot of linebackers.
Linebackers and safeties.
Yeah. That's just me.
All right. We're at 150. Let's go Mason Taylor.
Let's go.
Welcome to Chicago.
Shout out to you guys.
Will Joy Taylor be at some games?
All right.
Okay, we're skipping this pick because this is not a real pick.
Okay.
The simulator's off. The Bears do not. Let's take Will Howard because we're having fun.
Okay.
The Bears do not have a 4th-round pick, but the simulator.
I was going to say take a kicker for Kyrie Santos, but.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
All right,
okay.
5th-round pick. So, all right, we got Billy Bowman at safety. He's an interesting option.
No running back. Yeah, I like Billy Bowman. That's a good. We'll put him in there. If he falls to round 5, that's pretty good value.
Luke Kandra, he's honestly an interesting option as a depth guard out of Cincinnati.
Okay.
Let's see what else we got here.
Only thing is Jackson's more. I'd rather take like a true tackle. I think.
Kyle Williams, the receiver out of Wazoo.
Okay, I'll put him. Who was the first guy we talked about?
Billy Bowman.
Billy Bowman.
Yeah, Billy Bowman, Luke Kandra.
What's offensive tackle looking like?
Let's see. We have some trade offers, but I don't know if we're gonna do that. We got Emory Jones, the tackle that like.
Ooh, I kind of like that actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if he like with the year of like NFL coaching could get back on track because I don't know what happened this year. Coming into this year, it was like Will Campbell's first rounder, but Emory Jones might be too, and then he was awful. So
He was
like
terrible.
then he was awful at the Senior Bowl. So I don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
at one point he was viewed as a first-round talent.
I'll check receiver as well too. Like I said, Kyle
I'm
Williams.
throwing Kyle in there. We're
Okay.
good. Go D-Tac.
D-Tac. I don't know what I'm doing. Defensive tackle. Simeon Barrow, Tonka Hemingway, Tim Smith, Junior Tafona, Zeke, Ty Robinson, your boy.
Yeah, I don't want to do him again. We do him every time. What about linebacker?
Okay. That could be interesting. If my guy, which, by the way, or Kobe Keene, Cody Simon is
Right.
interesting. Danny Stutzman, I think he might be my.
Is he the guy? I'll put him in here.
I'll push the graphic whenever we're back over this.
See a Cullen crush?
He is my next Cullen crush.
Okay, I like it.
I'll talk about him more. Again, I'll kind of just briefly show him since we're here. Used to be a really good coverage linebacker. You see his coverage right there. It's not great. He hasn't been a great coverage linebacker in like 2 years.
More of a downhill run stopper.
But he is a true Mike that has instincts in the run game, and I think he could, with the right coaching and development, I think he's got a lot of potential.
All right.
For a 4-star. Here we go.
Oh, I put Bill Bowman. Billy Bowman. I'm not restarting the poll.
Emory Jones getting a lot of love. Okay. See you guys.
A.J. Dillon to the Eagles.
A.J. Dillon.
Kenneth Gainwell replacement.
Have fun watching Farm Simulator, Eagles fans.
Have fun watching Saquon, A.J.
Yeah. All right, we're at 87 votes. It is towards the back half of the draft. Do you want to do it still 150 or?
There you go, 100 votes. 100
100?
votes is cool.
Okay. We got 7 more. And it looks like it's going to be the man out of Oklahoma.
2 Sooners on here, Bowman and
Yeah.
Stutzman. All right, Billy Bowman, come on down.
Billy Bowman.
Someone in the chat says Jenkins went to the Rams. That is fake news. I don't see that. Unless it just happened. Nope. Someone goes, can you imagine? All right, Billy Bowman. It's good value in the 5th.
Yep. All right. Here's the board. I mean, obviously, it's a 7th rounder. Here's the picks so far for the Bears. Ashton Genty, Landon Jackson, Donovan Jackson, so double Jackson, Mason Taylor. Ignore that. Billy Bowman Jr.
Yeah. Again, if you're just joining us, the PFF simulator for some reason is giving the Bears a 4th-round pick. They do not have one. They messed something up. I don't know what it is, but they do not have a 4th-round pick.
Oh, my God.
What?
Text. No, just what do you put in production?
Is
Good
it?
All right. Okay. Let's see what options we got here. Mark's out of USC. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. He was somebody that Brett Coleman, I think, really liked. And again, if you want to just potentially add to your running back room, I get 7th round.
Who is this?
Jaquarius Marquavius Marks.
Yeah, his nickname is Woody Marks.
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that's a few guys like in the draft community. I haven't done a whole lot of research on him, but he's a name. LeJohntay Wester, the fact that Robinson's still here.
It's a joke.
Fairchild.
What receivers we're working with here? Yeah.
Clay Webb. That's an interesting name.
Yeah. People are kind of high on him.
Theo Weiss.
Joshua Gray, you can play guard and center.
Kyron Lacey?
No. Too many red flags.
Let's see. Former Den guy.
Rocket Sanders.
Yeah, Rocket Sanders.
Receivers? What are receivers looking like other than Mr. Lacey?
Mr. Catch a Case. LeJohntay Wester. Some think he could be, outside of Travis Hunter, obviously, the best receiver coming out of Colorado.
Also is the other guy from Colorado. What's his name? Jimmy Horn Jr. Is he there? I kind of like him.
I see Brew McCoy.
Will not be. We'll see it, Jimmy Horn.
I'm not seeing it.
Arian Smith.
Yeah, the speedster out of Georgia.
He can fly.
He can fly. Corey Brooks.
Might put Smith on there. He's a burner.
Okay.
All right. What's D-Tac looking like other than Ty Robinson? He ain't getting to round 7.
Yeah, ignore that. Howard Cross.
Go Howard Cross. I like him out of Notre Dame.
Interesting. Any other positions you want to name?
What's offensive tackle looking like?
We got Xavier Truss.
Pretty thin here.
Yeah, Truss would be the main guy.
Linebacker maybe.
Let's see, linebacker.
Go up.
Kind Madrano. I think this guy had a pretty decent combine.
I'll throw him in there. Why not?
Had a pretty good coverage grade, 76.
All right.
I feel like this guy.
You've sold me. It's round 7.
It is round 7.
What about edge? You got any edges? I think I saw my guy Johnny Walker in there, the Mizzou kid.
Let me see.
He's kind of fun.
I'll look up Kine. All right. Now Johnny Walker. That's
Let's
a name.
go Johnny Walker.
Why not? Hold on. Kine.
I think you're right. I feel like I remember hearing about his combine.
I feel like he tested really well. Let's see. Yeah, athleticism score of 82. Yeah, you ran a 4.46 40. Interested in that as a linebacker?
Round 7?
1.57, 10-yard split, 38-inch vertical.
His RAS 9.75.
Oh, yeah.
6'2", almost 6'3", 222. I feel like he'll be going higher than round 7 just on athletic traits alone.
Yeah. Honestly, you want to do this since we have kind of back-to-back 7th. The two highest get picked here. Because you have 235 and 242.
I'm down. Almost there. 75 votes.
Looks like it'll be Walker and Smith.
Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker Blue. By the way, we're at $401 in soups. If someone brings the boom, we're doing a race.
We are doing a race, baby.
500. We're doing a beer boot race.
We're doing a race.
Who have we taken? You want to go back through the picks?
Yeah.
Someone's asking.
Ashton Genty, number 10. A pair of Jacksons in Landon and Donovan. Mason Taylor, tight end out of LSU.
Not Will Howard. That's a fake pick.
And Billy Bowman Jr. Which, to be honest, like, if the Bears are really confident in Brisker, that's honestly pretty good value for Bowman.
Yeah.
So I do not mind that at all. All right.
Larry Borum confirmed with the Rams. He signed with the Dolphins. He's a Dolphin.
Yeah. All right. So it'll be Johnny Walker and Arian Smith. So I'll take Walker first, and then good old Arian.
You're gonna have to go to receiver. He's like the last one on the list.
He's literally speed, and that's it.
Hey, round 7, baby.
It's true.
Taking the fastest guy on the board. That's honestly what I would do if I was like a GM.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, all right, round 7. Who is the fastest guy left in the draft?
Yeah.
That is who I would take.
Honestly,
it's probably why I wouldn't last, but why not?
Yeah.
They got like a 30% chance of making the team anyway.
This is so stupid. If we would fit all the names on here, if Will Howard and this pick weren't here.
Yeah.
But we'll
PFF, wake up.
So Genty, Landon Jackson, Donovan Jackson, who's the lowest grade, I think, by far. Mason Taylor.
That's because PFF doesn't know ball. Well, sometimes they do. I like Sycamore.
Yeah, the other guys, maybe. Yeah, Bowman, Johnny Walker, and Arian Smith. Grade it down below. Mike's already saying D-. He's not a fan. He was also, I think you're not on the fan of drafting Ginty. So, DC Viper saying B. Vince saying D. We got Soldier saying S+. Den saying B. John saying B. F because of no cash flow. That's funny. Bryce saying C. Tater saying C. Chris saying B. We got D. Karharski saying B-. Merrick saying B-. Redemption saying B+. Dan Eclipse B+. Cody C-. Loctera C-.
Loctera. All right.
No, that's fair, Mike. That's fire. That's fire. All right.
Foyer. This foyer.
If y'all want to do another one, we got to get to 450 at least. And then maybe.
Yeah, I think we do this. I think we go 10-minute shot clock here. How about, 10-minute shot clock. Hashtag Bears. We'll shoot the shit, answer questions. We won't do an actual cut here, but we can take some hashtag Bears questions. 10 minutes on the clock. If we get to 500 in soups in that time, not only will we do a beer boot race, but we'll stay live a little bit longer.
Okay.
If not, we're right around 3 hours. We can call it a day. Free agency has slowed down a bit after a bit of a flurry there. We'll do the raffle still, obviously, before we sign off.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do. 10 minutes on the clock.
We will, sorry, get a new Super Chat link.
Unknown is just a troll in the chat. Yeah, Coleman Shelton to the Rams.
Coleman Shelton.
2-year deal.
Fair. All right, I'll get the clock up here in a second.
All right. Captain Bears hype man, would you trade 2 mid-20s for a future first? Like trade a future first to get into the mid-20s? Probably not. I don't think I would. I don't know if there's a single trade in this draft that exists that would have me trade a future first. Like, if you're trading a future first, you better be damn confident you're a playoff team and that pick's in the 20s.
Yeah. That's a move that, you're going to push yourself over with.
Well, and it's also, what are all the draft guys saying about this draft? Pick, 15 through 50, there may not be that much difference in value. So, I'm not trading a future first if I can get a similar caliber. Now, certain teams will have different values on guys, but, I don't think once you get outside the top 10, you're going to be seeing teams trading future first for draft picks. I just don't think that's going to happen. All right, 9 minutes and change. If we get to 500, we'll keep the show going. We'll do a beer boot race. I owe one regardless. If we get to 500, Cullen joins me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we're going to do the raffle and sign off. Tucker, drip, too hard. I think Ginty is overrated. Chicago should take Scadaboo. Surely not at 10 in terms of Scadaboo, but if you don't want to take Ginty, that's cool. I'm not all in on Ginty. I really like him. I've come around to the idea. I think they've done a good job dressing the O-line. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Number 1 pun. Says, Harrison, would you give up a 4th-round pick for Michael Mayer for the Raiders? They don't have a 4th this or next year. The PFF simulator says they have a 4th. They do not have a 4th. They don't have a 4th-round pick. I would give up the 5th that they have. I would give up that 5th-round pick for Michael Mayer. Don't know if that trade's on the table, but I would give up that pick. Okay, we'll get some hashtag Bears questions in here as well. If you want to fire in those soups, if someone brings the boom, we're doing a beer boot race. But hashtag Bears, super chat, get your questions answered.
Yeah.
On this little Q&A session, and we got y'all.
Yeah, we do.
Y'all.
Because we bring the boom.
That's what we do.
All right, here's the first one actually coming in from Mike Nintendo Master.
All right, Mike. Should we trade down at 39 or 41? I assume. if the right trade is there, if you want to get more picks in the 3rd, 4th round, don't have a 4th round pick. If you want to get some value in that round, certainly wouldn't be opposed. If you want to trade down from one of those 2 picks to like the 50s or 60s and get extra pick or 2, yeah, I'd be open to it. But depends who's on the board, depends on what you're getting back. We'll have to wait and see. Captain Bears Hype Man, would you take a future first to move back from 10 to the mid-20s for a future first? Potentially. I would not trade a future first to move up in this draft, but if another team wanted to do that for me, I'd consider it. Mid-20s is a far drop. But if you got enough back, like if you get 10, let's say you get 25 back from Houston. Let's say Houston's the team. Although they don't have a ton of picks, probably not a good example. Let's just say Houston gives you 25, a future first, and maybe like a 3rd or a 4th this year. I'd think about it. It depends who's there at 10. That'd be the way. If I didn't love the board at 10, I'd probably do it, and then maybe I'd try to trade back up, like to the teens to get Josh Simmons or someone like, or an edge rusher or something like that. All right, Christian, trade down for Tyler Booker. Booker slipped for me. His athletic profile is not great. I still think in the right scheme he'll be a good player. As I don't know where his question went, but
oh shoot.
Yeah, I don't know if Booker. Also, like the reason I probably am, I'm not out on Booker, but like the reason I probably wouldn't draft him for this team is you just filled your guard spots. Like there's not a spot for him this year. Now that could be true for Will Campbell or Armand Mimbu, but I think they're high enough level prospects where that's different and they have more positional versatility. Booker does not. He's a guard, and a guard only. I mean, maybe a team looks at him as a potential center, but he can't play tackle. In schemes that run a lot of outside zone, which I think the Bears will at least do some of, that's going to be a struggle for him, I think. So I don't think Booker ends up being in play here, if I had to guess. Luke Clark, Bears at 10. If you had to take an edge, who would you take? If I had to take an edge, like you're basically asking after Abdul Carter, who's my top edge? In general, it's Mike Green. I don't think the Bears will agree with me because of the measurables they're going to look for. I guess I would say Mykel Williams, but I don't feel great about it. I like him better like in the teens or 20s. I mean, do you just swing for the home run with Shamar Stewart because he's an athletic freak, but the production hasn't been great? I guess one of those guys, but I don't love the idea of just taking an edge at 10. I'd rather trade down.
Fair.
Hashtag Bears Super Chat, 4.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, just put it in the chat. If we don't reach 500 in supers, we will be signing off.
What speedy wide receivers would be on the board in the 2nd? And would you consider drafting one? Yeah, I mean, Jalen Noel, a guy we've talked about a lot. Who else that fits 2nd round? I mean, does Luther Burden slip to the 2nd? I doubt it, but if he does, like, I'll tell you this. If Luther Burden's on the board at 39, my senses are going off. Like,
yeah.
I would heavily consider that because I think one thing you could do is you could immediately make him your return guy.
Mm-hmm. And
he's your number 3 receiver as a rookie. And then long term, ideally, he's your number 2 receiver with Rome as your 1. Like, you know, maybe DJ's here 2-3 more years. You move on from him because he'll be about 30 by then. And then you pay Rome Odunze. You know, the cycle keeps going. So, yeah, I mean, if Luther Burden fell to 39, I would be very, very interested because he's a versatile player, can do a lot of different things. I think with a creative guy like Ben Johnson, you could get a lot out of a guy like Luther Burden. So, be an interesting one. There's been some mocks recently calling that don't have him going round 1, so you never know.
Never know. Hey, our universe.
The Raiders take Genty. Who else do you think the Bears will get? I mean, I've mentioned guys I'd be intrigued by at 10 if they get there. Mason Graham if he slips. Mimbu. I still like Will Campbell, but if they don't view him as a left tackle, it's a little tougher. You know, Tyler Warren, I think, is a guy you would consider. outside of that group, I would try to trade down if it was there, if that was possible. I think one of those players will get to 10, but if they're all gone, I'd be trying to trade down if I was the Bears. 2.5 minutes. Deshaun with the Sanborn news, and I highly expected the Bears to be interested in day 2. You mean a linebacker on day 2? Maybe. There's a guy they love at 39 or 41 or especially 72. I wouldn't rule it out. Linebacker, you have your primary 2, but you don't have great depth. Ogbongbemiga is a special teamer first. Noah Sewell has shown you nothing to suggest he can be a quality level linebacker. So yeah, you're going to have to get someone in there, whether it's in the draft or free agency, to be that third guy in true 4-3 sets, but also to give you some depth in case there's an injury. You're going to need somebody. So we'll see who they get. Ben Johnson. What about you, Coach? Do you think me and Caleb can sweep the Packers this year? Should have last year, Colin. That was with Eberfuck.
You don't have to tell me twice.
You going to call your shot again this year?
You'll have to tune into Bears now. In August, baby.
Hit that sub button, baby.
Eberflus says sub chat. I'm dead.
What do you say?
There's a person said the name Matt Eberflus said sub chat.
Sub chat.
That's hilarious.
He's probably going to say, I took Sanborn. You did. I'll be curious to see what the money on
You did a
that
lot
is.
of things, Eber.
Oh, he's done a lot.
All right, we can go to
Last minute.
OG.
Anybody going to swing big to extend the show?
We'll see. OG Latino Heat. Bears, we need a safety that'll play the whole season. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to add somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they view Elijah Hicks as that guy. But I like Elijah, but that's a tougher sell. He's a backup to me. I would like to get somebody that's either been a starter some before or someone in the draft that has starting potential to be that third guy. Because Kevin Byard's in his 30s, 1 year left in his deal. Jaquan Brisker, don't really know his long-term prognosis or short-term. So, yeah, I think safety is a spot they're going to have to add a piece. Rich, if we take offensive tackle at 10, do you feel like Braxton Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trading Ben Johnson. Braxton Jones.
Yeah.
I do. Now, the injury makes it tougher. If he had a clean bill of health, I think with the O-line money you've seen spent in free agency, you probably get like a third-round pick for Braxton. I think a team would give you like a third and extend him. Like, Alert Jackson got 19 a year. Could Braxton Jones get 13, 14 a year? I mean, he's a starting left tackle in the NFL. Guys like that get money. With the injury, it's a little tougher. You're probably looking at is it a 5th-round pick when he got drafted? Could you get a 4th? The only way I would even trade him, even if you do go tackle, Rich, is like you feel uber confident the guy you take, plug and play upgrade over Braxton. If you're unsure, if you think it's more like competition, want to give that guy time to develop, you keep Braxton Jones. I would guess Braxton Jones is on this team next year, but you never know. Starting left tackles in the NFL have value, even if they're not upper echelon ones. So,
Yep.
I think you could get something for him, but the injury makes it tough because it's a serious leg surgery. So, all right, you want to do the raffle?
Let's do it.
Do the raffle, and then we are getting out of here. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Last call. If anybody wants to.
Void Eclipse. He gets a raffle ticket. Oh, now they fly in. Okay. Now they fly in.
We're still about $85 away, but
And there's still time.
there's still time. We'll answer these super chats.
Yeah, if that, if more comes in,
I mean,
Captain and Void, they want to keep the show going.
Yeah.
Anybody, Matt Eberflus, anyone trying to buy some timeouts? $25 a timeout.
Freaking A, man.
God.
Void, thoughts on Cooper Kupp? Do you think the Bears should possibly go for him?
I'm interested if the price is right. I wouldn't stretch that price for him, but, I probably wouldn't go past $8 million.
Yep.
But good blocker, be a good secondary target for Caleb. I think he'd fit well in this scheme with his blocking ability. Captain.
We did hit 500 likes, so I'll take a little
Shotsky.
Shotsky.
Nice. If Genty is gone, what's their earliest if you take Hampton? I think 10 would be a little early, but trade down into the teens. I think there's a 50-50 shot he goes top 20. I think he's going to go pretty high.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked. What would you say chances are he goes first round? 85%? I mean, I think there's at this point, I think it would at least be a mild surprise if he fell to round 2.
I mean, here, I can pull up PFF again. I'll list off all the teams that I think could take Ashton Genty. I think the Raiders at 6, and again, realistic. Like, obviously, anybody would be interested in caliber of Genty, but
Someone could trade up.
yeah, somebody could trade up, all that stuff. So we've got the Raiders at 6. I don't think the Jets would with Breece Hall. Panthers, they signed Chuba, so probably not. Genty to the Saints, which they somehow still keep finding.
They extended Kamara, but would they
Yeah.
consider Genty as well?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You've got the Bears, obviously. Cowboys at 12 will consider it.
I think Dallas is his floor.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he got past 12.
But let's just say for the sake of argument that he does.
Okay.
Right? Colts have Jonathan Taylor, no. Falcons, they have Bijan, no. I don't think the Cardinals, well, they just gave James Conner an extension, but maybe. You've got Bengals, I don't think they will. Seattle, I don't think will. Tampa, they just drafted Bucky Irving. I don't see it. The Broncos at 20. Like, Sean Payton, are you telling me he won't draft Ashton Genty if he's there?
The question is, would you take Hampton?
Yeah.
That's what Captain, like, what's the earliest you would take Hampton? Because, like, if Genty's gone, like, does Hampton even get past Denver? Like, I think Denver would probably take him at
21,
20.
the Steelers, like, they're going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hampton's going top 20, top 21.
Yeah, I can't see it personally.
Question is, does a third back enter the first round? Judkins, Henderson, like, would Minnesota at 24 take one?
Maybe.
If they're going with McCarthy, they seem to have hesitation right now with what they're doing at quarterback. So if it is JJ, they're going to have to be a better running team.
We got a wheel spin, Harry.
All right, good versus 50 tickets. Well, that's not the price for it, but we'll get your 2 tickets in.
Yep. He's in there. You. We also got some more that somehow YouTube's not loading. Thomas Kozlowski says, what about trade down, take Grant, get Landon Jackson at 39, and best running back at 41?
Hi, Kenneth Grant.
He's
Be
a
open
solid
to
player,
it.
man. I think he'll
Be
be
open
productive
to
in the NFL.
I don't love waiting till the third round for another offensive lineman, but it depends how the board falls.
Yeah.
Depends how the board falls. Be fun.
Yeah, we did get a couple more. We got the kid is an L7 weenie. Says, who's a vet quarterback you would like to bring in FGB?
I'll say this about Kenneth Grant, too. If you go nose tackle, Kenneth Grant, Andrew Billings, 3-tech, Grady Jarrett, Trevon Dexter, it's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun quartet there. Vet QB. Who would be like on the cheap side of things? Let's see. Like, would you bring in Joe Flacco? I feel like it gets weird with Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Flacco always finds a way on the field. I don't know if I like that.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, like a Taylor Heineke. Case Keenum,
Maybe.
no threat to start. 37, he could be your third stringer behind Bajent.
Soldier Bear says Patrick Mahomes, he's cheap.
I don't hate the Keenum idea. He's been around. Seen a lot of things. Had his best year in the NFC North with the Vikes. Be interested in someone like that. I doubt he's going to play. I think he's going to go back to coach, but like Teddy Bridgewater,
Yeah.
he'd be an interesting one.
Little NFC North reunion.
Yep. Ben Johnson reunion.
Yep.
Patrick. What about Gordon from Oak State, 3rd or 4th? Yeah, I like Ollie Gordon. Love him in the 4th. Still like him in the 3rd, though.
I like him if the Bears were to trade back into the 3rd. Like, not at 72, but maybe.
Like in the 80s, 90s. Yeah. Good player. Had a really good year last year. This year, not as good, but Oklahoma State kind of just collapsed.
Re-signed Jay Cutler from DC Viper.
It's like 45.
All right, we got one wheel spin for.
I think I saw it's been
Good receival.
I think it's been think I saw. Has it been 10 years since they cut Cuddy?
Is it really?
It's either been 10 or 8.
It's funny.
Shot for me.
Tis a shot. All right. Now this is the absolute last call.
It's been 9 years. They cut Cutler 9 years ago the other day.
9 years ago?
Yep.
If you guys want to keep the
Or
stream
no,
going.
sorry, 8 years.
8 years ago?
Yep.
If you guys want to keep the stream going, also want to see a boot race between me and Harry, 50% off boot race. We need 45 more, or 55 more dollars. I can't do math. 55 more dollars.
They're at 445.
And you got about until, put these old names in, move them over to the other screen.
We're close. Cheers.
Last call. Last call. Salute.
Oh, man.
Did you just see what? Look at chit chat real quick.
Hang on.
Gee, whenever you get a second. Jesus. The moments of delirium have hit chat.
Untamed dogs.
Jesus. Wow.
What's that SpongeBob episode where they make those Sundays?
Yeah. I don't know what the episode is.
I'm going to try to find this.
Oh, we got another race, or another 20. So another wheel spin. Means we're down to $35. $35 hairs. Doll hairs.
Yeah, we're close. They want it. They want it.
They want
it. They want to bring the boom.
We'll get Jay Browner up on screen, but again, keep it going, guys. We'll get another wheel spin here in a second.
Here's Diana Rossini. As Cooper Kupp remains unsigned, it's worth noting that former Rams executive and now Jags GM James Gladstone was with Kupp in L.A. with Josh Reynolds and Devin Duvernay cut last week from Jacksonville. Ooh, Josh Myers to the Jets. He and Justin Fields were college teammates.
That they were. They're the infamous clip of remember Fields when
He said he went to the wrong team. Yep.
Now reunited in New York.
Now they're teammates.
Yeah.
The Jaguars have openings at receiver. We'll see.
Jay Browner says, let's see that boot race. All right. Well, you earned at least another wheel spin and another delay into me putting those names in. Will somebody match him? Will somebody join him? We're $35 away. 2 more of those. Me and Harry are doing boots. Browner, you did earn yourself, though, another raffle ticket. I mean, it's cool. We don't have to drink if y'all want us to. Up to y'all. Up to y'all. Ooh.
All right.
And then we got another 20.
One more 20 and we're there. We're 15 away.
Good old Mark Ledger.
You want us to spin again, then we can flash
Yeah,
his?
whenever his shows up eventually. So Mark says, boots, please. Well, you did earn a raffle. Oh, Harry. Is it? I don't know. 2 raffle tickets. So Mark actually gets a little double piece. Little double piece. Who's it going to be? Who's going to step up? We need $15 more. 5 and a 10 gets it done. Or another 20. Earns another wheel spin just like that one.
There's 10.
So Mark says, boots, please.
Boots, please.
And yeah, Patrick, get your name in the raffle. We need $5 more for a little boot race. Get Patrick loaded up here in a second. We got your 2 tickets, though. Or 2 extra tickets, I should say, Mark. Got your 2 extra tickets. How to get a job to get paid to drink, LMAO, says Vince. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet gig, man.
Believe me, we do a lot more than that, but sometimes we mix in some drinks.
Sometimes. On occasion.
Who is Melvin Harrison Jr.? TJ, I got you, man. There's a shout out. Shout out TJ Washow.
Shout out to Patrick. All right, $5 more.
Who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be?
Harrison, do you actually run to the studio? I wouldn't say I run, but
Here we go.
I'll walk down the hall to one of the studios. All right, there it is.
Jay Browner.
All right, I'll go fill up the boots.
Okay.
If you want to hold it down.
Yeah, I gotcha. Here, my boot's over here, so
I'll
it.
grab it. Yep.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, and we'll get that on screen. Jay Browner, shout out to you, brother. Here, while Harry's gone. Ooh, and Mark, shout out to you, sir. Here you go, brother. Y'all let me know. How many seconds should I give Harry on this boot race? I'll let the chat determine. Do whatever. Whatever you like. We got Mike saying 10 seconds. Feel like that's pretty fair. Soldier says 5 minutes. Travis says, how do I donate? You see that little money sign icon near the chat box. Just click it. Choose how much you want to donate. You can write a message in there. Boom. Easy. Dylan saying 15. Deshaun saying 6 seconds. Van Helsing says 5 seconds. Flanker says he needs 10 to make it interesting. Okay. So we had 2 votes for 10. That's the most popular one by far, but I'll read these supers. Jay Browner was the one that got us over the finish line. He says, yes, sir. Boot race time. We got you, brother. Harry's going to go fill up those boots. Here we go. Seen a lot of 10 seconds, so I think we'll run with 10. Which, hey, I'm cool with that. Mark said, I said, please. We got you, brother. Took me a second. Yeah, I got you, Travis. 10 seconds. Tell him to man up. He's got it. Hey, to be fair, he's further along out of college than I am. I still got my college, drinking mentality. I'm also not a dad, which, hey, I'm allowed to. I probably drink more on a weekly basis than he does, so I do have a lot more practice. That's funny. Shout out to you, Travis. Appreciate you, brother. God, those shots are hitting me. This Patron's no joke, man. This Patron is no joke. And you're a first-time super chatter. Josh Myers is a Jet, unknown. He is a Jet. We'll get you up on screen. Flanker. Hey, man. Listen, we appreciate. Hey, you know what? That's very true. That's very true. I'll give you that. Is Cullen draft eligible, and who does he say yes if they call his name, Seahawks or Bears? Well, if it's a draft, I kind of just say yes to wherever I go, right? Wherever I go. I mean, it could be literally anybody. I will say if it's the Packers, I might have to go play baseball or something. Travis, first time super chat. I'll do a little, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out to you, Travis. We got you, brother. We get some more supers rolling in. Do you think the Raiders are going to pick Jinty or Tedero McMillan? Honestly, if I had to lean based on talking to our Raiders Report host earlier, I think Ted McMillan. They really wanted to get DK Metcalf. And when they didn't get him, they could really use an outside receiver. Captain Bears Hype Man says FGB. Agreed. The FGB's in the chat. Harry's still going to fill up the boots. He'll be back any moment. We're going to do this boot race, and I guess, not sure what we're doing after that. FGB from Mike. Shout out to you guys. We also did get another super chat coming in here from Kyle. Packers are hammered out. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. DC, I'm a prime long snapper candidate, if drafted. I'll tell you that much for free. All right, ready to do this thing? Do I?
I mean, got like a couple drinks, a couple shots, one beer bong.
Oh. So the chat did say 10 seconds, by the way. I think that's fair. Santana, yo, Cullen, I emailed Harrison back. I don't know if I'm able to get.
I don't know if we can do a black jersey. Here, let me check your email. Let me see, Santana. Carbon black fashion jersey. I will look into it. What's your backup? Like navy or white? What's your backup? Those are the easiest ones for us to get, Santana.
Mike, what message? You're saying, did I see something?
He
says white.
Block Moon, he trying to troll you. Moon's a troll. It's all good.
It's all good.
If he gets inappropriate, that's one thing. But all right. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Trav.
We appreciate it.
All right, we'll do this boot. Then we'll see who wins the raffle.
Yep.
Then we outie.
Audi 5000.
Cheers.
All right, 10 seconds. I'll count you
Oh, they're
down.
giving me 10?
They're giving you 10.
It's not going to be enough, but I'll try.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. Missed a little bit on that one. Shout out to you guys. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, throat's still a little sore. There was no way I was going to pull that off. Woo! All right. We're doing the raffle, then we outie. Do I think the Bears are going to have a top 10 O-line? I think it's possible. I think we got to wait and see still, but I do think it's possible. Excuses, Harrison. Hey, no excuses. I always lose. So I need a full hour head start. Listen, DC, you know, doing my best here. Clearly, it's not enough. Flu's first beer, Ben Johnson beer boot. Ben Johnson might finish 2. Oh, who's back? The ring of energy. Whew. Yeah, we're in. We have a lot of new studios, and they're kind of temporary lighting setups right now, so it's kind of it gets out of whack sometimes, but we got it fixed. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, never mind. It's just Cooper Kupp has significant interest. I thought it was the rest of the tweet was going to say, like, from a specific team, but it's just in general. He's drawing a lot of interest. All right. I need a Brett Favre jersey to go with my Bart Starr game used jockstrap. What a comment.
We had a few. We've had a few. Flus made us all trade. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, Mike, that's your business. You guys can block whoever y'all want in the chat.
Ugh. Shout out to y'all, man.
All right. How many we got in here?
About 72.
All right.
About 72.
Who's it going to be? Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go! All right, we are off in the Kentucky Derby. It is day 3 of NFL free agency. Who is going to get a Bears jersey of their choice? Okay, we got Edward Haney leading the charge. He falls back. Jay Browner games. How about Bear in a steel land? Our guy Brian in the peak. Ducky in the middle lane. Let's see. Here we go. Edward Haney. He sent in a couple of Venmos to get in on the action. We got Jay Browner games with another duck. He's got the red one with the top hat. It's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a good look. I like that one.
Distinguished, some would say.
Edward Haney here at the bottom. You get on the edges sometimes.
Don't count out Steve Roscoe with the grandma duck.
Oh, yeah, Grandma Roscoe ready to go. 10 seconds.
Mark
here
Ledges
comes Mark Ledges. Did he peak a little early? Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Is it going to be Michael Ortman?
Ortman!
Shout out to Michael Ortman. Someone says I'm looking gorgeous today. Just today?
Just today. Roscoe came in second, Brewer, Haney, and Brian Barron-Steeland. Shout out to you guys. But Michael, are you in the chat, my friend? Are you in the chat?
If not, he's here all the time. I got DMs with him. I can find Ortman. So, all right, fellas, it's been a fun week. We'll be live tomorrow. I don't know. Tomorrow might be kind of a combo live where we're still on free agency watch, but we might do a few segments as well since things have slowed down a bit. So be on the lookout. But we will be live maybe similar time, like 2 o'clock tomorrow, something like that. That might be what we're shooting for. So stay tuned. Bear down. Enjoy yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, bear down, baby.